Let's let you in. Denise says, what happened to our DJ? So DJs only for the 5-day challenges. I don't have the DJs for the free class. Oops, let's turn this off. Let's make sure it's over here. Yeah, so DJs is normally for the challenge, but that lets me know that you've been locked in. Okay. Let's make sure we're live right here. All right, good. YouTube is good. Then he says, well, your energy is just as good. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying. I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to make it back from the farmer's market sooner so I could take a nap, but it just didn't happen. I am all for naps. Hello, Wendell. Reese is the first time. All right, cool, cool, cool. So let's get started. Let me bring up my screen. Let's do presenter view. Let's do gotcha. Let's go here. Oh, welcome, welcome, YouTube family. And then let's do this one. Okay, I think everyone can see. If you can see my screen, can everyone put a 1 in the chat for me, please? Let's go ahead. Excuse me. Okay, everyone see me? All right, cool, cool, cool. Um, hey iPhone, so you said this is recorded. Yes, this is recorded. You will be able to rewatch this over on YouTube. Okay. All right, there we go. Gotta make sure all the screens are good. Okay, we can get started. All right, welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to my free medical courier and medical supply masterclass. In this class, we're going to be going over not just the medical courier, but also the beginner stages of the medical supply and doing business with the government. How do I locate that on YouTube? You can just search me, which is Leela_Brown. Hey Ace. Um, if you don't know me, my name is Leela Brown. I am a successful entrepreneur. I have made several six figures within the medical industry, and I want to share with you all how you can all get started, at least the beginner stages. Yes, I do talk about getting private contracts and getting government contracts, but I want to bring everything back and start beginner. You know, how to make money with the vehicle that you already have. So go ahead, drop in the chat. Where's everyone tuning in from? Nikisha's is in Inglewood, California. Woo woo. I am in Riverside. So we're all in the same area. We're neighbors. We're neighbors. ATL in the house. Hey Ace. Michigan is in the house. Dallas is in his house. Newport, Virginia, NYC. And that is wonderful. So I'm here to tell everyone, no matter where you're at, you can get started in this business. You can start making that medical money with your car. It does not matter where you're at. And if you are in a super rural area, then make sure that you stay to the end because I'm going to share with you how to start this business, turn it from a side hustle to a business, and go after contracts in any and every state, even not just your state, but all over the USA. Now, I do have a couple of housekeeping rules. I want everyone to understand that this is not a get rich quick strategy that I'm going to be teaching you. It will require consistency and commitment and some more consistency. So anyone that feels like that they are in an interested state of mind, that is where this business is going to stay at. You have to be committed. You have to have a strong why. In the chat, tell me where you're at mentally. Are you committed? Are you in the interested state of mind? Let me know in the chat. Where are you at? Let's go ahead and add these people in. I think I need to switch this around. So Tian says, I am committed. Nikisha says, I'm committed and focused. Don't get it twisted. Ross says, all the above. Who else? Who else? Mila says, interested. Belle says, interested. Denise is in the middle. Denise, I thought we already talked about this. You should be over here with the committed side. Well, hopefully by the end of this class, I will change every interested mind into a committed state of mind, is because that is where results are going to be sitting at. You have to be committed. You really have to be committed. So this class is going to be anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes, maybe even 2 hours. I'm going to try to hold it at 90 minutes each and every week. I challenge myself to try to keep class under an hour and a half. I'm getting there. That's why I'm back. That's right, Denise. That's right. So make sure that you have your pens and paper, because I will be dropping apps. I will be dropping medical courier leads, organ leads. And if you've came to my previous classes, I do not recycle the leads. I give you new leads. I don't bring back the same ones that we went over and I gave you last week. So if you're returning, that is one thing that you get that over everyone else is going to get from that's just joining today. So make sure that you cancel out all your distractions, turn that TV off, give the kids a snack, do whatever you have to do so that you are locked in. Now, just for preferences, I'm just letting you know I am the only Leela Brown. I'm the only Leela_Brown on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So even if you want to rewatch this later, you can go to Leela, search Leela_Brown, and go ahead and subscribe to my page. Also, before we get started, I want you to invite two people. Invite two people that can benefit from this. Two people that has been saying, oh, I'm broke. I need some money. I don't know what I'm going to do these next couple of weeks, these next couple of months before the new year, the holiday season is coming. I do know some people's SNAP benefits was disconnected. So this is an opportunity for anyone to make some extra cash, an extra 5 to 10K before this year ends. So go ahead and share the link. If you need the link, I will give it to you. Where's the link? Where's the link? Let me grab it. I got too much stuff on my screen. All right, I'm gonna put it in the chat so you can share it with two people, two friends that can benefit from this information. All right, so before I teach you the method, I want to share a little bit of proof that this is real. This is something that not just I have done, but also from individuals that I have mentored and taught throughout the last 4 years of starting this journey. So I have Christina right here. She won her first medical supply contract. This is doing business with the government. So what we're going to talk about in this class is doing business with your car, with your vehicle, and then also doing business with the government without using your car or your vehicle at all. The greatest thing about this business, you can enter wherever you are at. It is very beginner to advanced friendly. So Christina, she started off with a car. And then she moved up to the medical supply industry and doing business with the government. Within the first month, it was implementation. This is why I say you have to be consistent. Within the second month, she landed 2 contracts. The same month, she landed 4 contracts. By the end of the third month, she's landed over 49 medical supply contracts. This does not require her to do any driving. She is not getting contracts only in her state. She's getting them all over the USA, and she does not have to drive. Then we have Jim right here. For anyone that says, oh, medical supply is a little too advanced right now. I want to just get started. Well, Jim right here, he did not quit his main job. He used medical courier as a side hustle, and he does part-time days, 3 very part-time days, and he's making anywhere from $500 to $700 a week. That's an extra $2,000 to almost $3,000 a month. Who could use that? Put in the chat. Put in the chat me that I can use an extra $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Then we have Shay right here. Shay is making an extra 5K a month and she is doing 2 delivery routes. Remember, I'm going to talk about how not to just to make money from one route. You make the most money from stacking, from going after multiple routes and multiple apps. Nikisha says extra 3K a month will be dope. That's what I'm talking about. And for you all, just for context, that was my mindset. I wanted to make an extra 5 to 6, maybe 7K a month max. And then I started making 8K, 9K, 10K months. And I want to share with you all how this is really a gold mine and you can do this full-time or part-time. So yes, these are real medical supply and medical courier contracts. I've helped my students win. I have over 1,000 students across the USA that is currently winning. I have Stephanie right here. She has made over 4K this month. Not excuse me, not this month. First starting, I did a summit last year. It was a free summit actually, and she took the information almost like what we have right here, and she applied everything that we're talking about. So I want you all to really keep in mind that you will not see results if you don't take action. You have to take massive action on the results, excuse me, on the information I'm going to give you. If you don't, nothing is going to happen. So I want you to put in the chat, go ahead and locked in. How are we locked in?
And I have like 4 to 5 new contracts.
What? Say that a little louder.
I got 4 to 5 new contracts.
Congratulations, sis. That is so dope. So that is a couple of students that have done the work and then you've seen the results. So why does this work for everyday people? This is the most recession-proof business out there. Whether you want to do a side income, a side hustle, or you want to do mainstream and you want to do a business. I say this is because when I first started in 2022, this was during the pandemic. This was right in the or towards the end of the pandemic. But nonetheless, the reason why I started this is because I wanted a business that was going to withstand the current pandemic or another pandemic. And I truly believe that although this government shutdown is not considered a pandemic, it is really putting our economy in a recession. So I say that this is the most recession proof because we're always going to need medical, whether it's going to the doctor because we're sick, if we're having babies out here, a leg is broke. It really doesn't matter. It is the best recession proof out there, business out there. And then on top of that, you do not need a CDL license. You don't need any experience and you don't need a car, a vehicle, or a truck if you really don't have that. And you're like, I don't have money, so I can't invest in that. I'm going to share with you how you're going to be able to do this with or without a vehicle and make your first 100K year. So you've probably been burnt out with online side hustles, but this is going to be your reset. So my goal for you all today is to bless you with all the necessary tools to master landing medical contracts and to scale to $300 to $600 days with confidence. So the strategies and methods that you're about to discover are the exact same strategies that I've used to personally grow my medical supply and courier business to multiple 6 figures a year. Now, I do want to let you know and differentiate the different type of opportunities out there. So I have Derek right here. He landed his first 2 on-demand contracts and is working on his third. On-demand is where I first started at. Initially, I just wanted to get something. I didn't care what it was, whether it was hourly. And I honestly didn't know about on-demand until I started doing research. So on-demand means that when they need you, they're going to call you or you're going to call them saying, hey, do you have anything available, any opportunities? And those are the contracts that I wanted to go after once I figured out what was on demand, is because with on demand, I was still able to run my current businesses. If you didn't know, I wear a couple of different hats, actually a lot of different hats. I am a serial entrepreneur. So at that time, we were investing in our event space studio. And I wanted to be able to still work medical courier, but then also be able to not work it because I didn't want that commitment of going to a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. I wanted some type of flexibility. So if at any point, if we had an event, then I can go ahead and work it. And when I say work it, be able to clean it, let people in, if I did any decorations, if I did any type of hosting. I wanted to be able to do it without having to hire anyone, and then also not put the medical courier side hustle in jeopardy. So on demand is one way. Then you have hourly, or you can get contracted with a company. So I have Tanya here. She started off doing hourly, but then she was starting to see that in her area there was more opportunity if you had a cargo van, a box truck. So she invested in a cargo van, and she is now partnering with multiple different medical courier and courier companies that has the work. So if you stick with me to the end of the class, there will be an offer for you to be able to get the exact same results. So why should you start? I've already told you that is the most recession-proof business or side hustle you can start, but also it is really fast money. And when I say fast money, meaning that you can see results within a week, and then the next week you can be getting your first payout. And it's little to no work. You're able to do this, and you're also able to stack, rinse and repeat the exact same strategy I'm going to share with you in order to get more and more contracts. Now, this I wanted to share with you some statistics. A lot of times I'll say these things, but I like to back it up with some statistics on what is going on and what is projected into the near future. So if you see right here, medical courier in 2023, all the way up to 2033, which is a 10 years, and you see that it is projected to expand to almost double in the need. And a lot of people think that medical courier is just delivering medical specimens. No, medical courier, I want to say, is the umbrella, and there's other sub type of deliveries that you can deliver within the medical courier industry. So if you see right here, this is different color codes all throughout here, and each one of them represents one of these sixes. So you have medical supplies, you have lab specimens. These were the main two that I would deliver when I first started, which was lab specimens. And then there will be some medical supply items that they would throw in as needed. Then you have transporting of x-rays, prescription drugs. A lot of times you can find these right here on apps. So like, for example, Rody, you can find prescription drug delivery around, I want to say around 8:30 is usually when they drop them, and they end around 1:30, 2 o'clock max. So you can find different types of apps or routes in order to get these type of contracts. Then you have blood and organ, and then medical notes. Me personally, I don't really care what I'm delivering, as long as it's not food and people, because I've done the DoorDash, I've done the Uber and the Lyft, and I'm not saying nothing is wrong with it, but I do think I've outgrown it. And if you all have done it, you will agree that there is more money out there in other areas. And who wants to sit there and have to be driving, especially late at night when people be puking and just doing other weird stuff? So I tell everyone, you are sitting on a gold mine to change your family's financial situation, whether you're starting out part-time or if you want to advance full-time. I have LaShawn here. She wanted to go not part-time, she wanted to go full-time. She wanted to go all in. So she invested within a year into two vehicles. She invested into a cargo van and a transport van. She's doing over 100K plus a year. So this is making it the most beginner friendly way to make an extra bit of cash, and it's easier than all of these type of businesses right here. And I've done them. I've done drop shipping, I've sold on Amazon, I've done affiliate marketing, I've done SMMA, YouTube automation, trading, real estate, and Amazon FBA. All of these is very rewarding. Yes, you can get to the bag, you can make some great money consistently, but it does take time. It takes money, it takes energy, it takes investment, it takes patience. But with medical courier, you'll see that you can start seeing results within a week. Bill, does it cost to start? No. If you have a car, if you already have a smartphone, and you already have a insurance, full coverage insurance, you do not need any money as far as investment. The only thing that you will need to just spend like a little bit of money with, and I teach everyone don't do that, is the certifications. Most of them, if not all of them, is going to require you to have the HIPAA, the bloodborne pathogen. Now, I tell people, hold off just for a second, because the company I used to work for did not require me to go get that certification. They actually allowed me to take it through their company, and then they paid me for even taking the test. I know that probably sounds weird. Like, wait, they paid you? Yes. There is other sites out there like Red Cross where you can go ahead and get your bloodborne pathogen or your HIPAA, and it costs anywhere from $20 to $30 for that certification. And if you want to, you can do that, but please be open to seeing who is the company that you want to work for and seeing if they will pay for it because it's very much so doable. Now, some of you are probably thinking, who the heck is this Lila Brown girl and why should you listen to me? And that's a really good question. And so I want to do a quick story, just a quick 5 minute story or less to explain who I am and what it is that I do. So a lot of people did not know that I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. I was homeschooled till the 12th grade, K through 12, I was homeschooled. I did not see any type of a college or school setting until I got into college. But with that being said, I came from entrepreneur families. And that was my mom and dad. This is my dad right here. And this is me, 19-year-old. So my mom and dad had a bakery. They had a bakery, they had a book service and things. They did create their own private school for about a couple of years. I take that back. I was in the school for a little bit, but I had no actual public school. And so, if anyone would wonder, like, where do I get my drive, my inspiration from? Well, I get it from my mom and my dad, my parents. So, one of the first businesses when I was in college and I wanted to make some side income, I started, which was our family business, but I did it with my three other sisters. It was called Sister Shabazz Pastries. In there, I was selling a lot of the same things my mom and dad had created that they had passed down to me. And I will go to pop-ups, I will go to farmers markets, I will do vendor events to sell pies, cakes, cookies, and all my pastries. So during that time, I was working part-time, I was going to school, and then I met my husband. And during that time, I was also contemplating what it is that I wanted to do. I was getting ready to go into nursing school. I was doing all the prerequisites to get into nursing school, and then I realized I don't want to do this. I knew I wanted to help people. I knew I wanted to be a benefit, but I did not want to do quote unquote nursing. So then I dropped out. Me and my husband got married. Then we started working jobs, doing part-time jobs, doing full-time jobs, doing everything just to make it work. I barely had time to sleep. It was very difficult because at that time we were sharing one car. My husband worked one part of the week, I worked the other part. And so even if I had an off day, I was still up taking him to work and vice versa. Several years came by and went, and we got into Amazon. And at that point, Amazon was the business. I mean, now it's questionable, but at that point, Amazon was the best paying, and it was better than minimum wage. I was making anywhere, I think it was 12.25 or 12.50 an hour, and that was money back then in 2017. No, excuse me, 2015, 2016. But then life started happening, and I had to move back in with our parents, and we were struggling, 30 years old, trying to make ends meet, living paycheck to paycheck. I felt like a failure, like it was a lot. I knew I had the drive in me. I knew I had the do for self in me. But it was just hard, just trying to make everything work, and you didn't know what was really going to work. So in May 2018, my life did change. That is when my father passed. We buried my father in May of 2018. This was my breaking point. I had told myself what a lot of other people have said before, life is not guaranteed. You can sit here and think that you have all the time in the world until you don't. And so that's what I told myself. And I said that I was going to go all in. Like, how many people have felt that way, whether you lost a loved one or not, but you had a breaking point and you were like, I have to go all in. And that's what I was doing. I said I had no free time much. I didn't have no connections. I didn't have no money, but I knew that a fire was like lit up under me. So I told myself now is the time just to try some stuff. That's what I did. I started doing trading. I invested in vending machines. I was successful with vending. I had several locations and warehouses. And then I started to selling the routes. I started even helping people find locations. And it was cool. But at the end of the day, It was a lot of competition. It was long wait times, and then you needed money to start. Because even when I was doing vending machines, I had to had anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 per machine in order to buy and invest in the machine and place it in the location. At that time, my credit wasn't right, so that wasn't even an option. So I wanted to focus on doing something, and trying to make money online was not going to be it because it took a lot of time and strategy and energy. But I said that I wanted to focus on something that I could do in person. I wanted to be able to make a lot of money in person. And I already told myself I did not want to have be micromanaged with another boss. I didn't want another in-person business because I was already getting the event space business off the ground, and I didn't have thousands of dollars to invest either. So I decided after doing a lot of research that I wanted to do the medical courier and courier delivery services. Now, mind you, I was already familiar um, excuse me, not YouTube, with Uber and Lyft, because that is what I did for a couple of years. But when the pandemic came, then it just declined and it dropped. And just like anything, it is a wave. And I just suggest everyone just ride the wave. And when it's not there anymore, it's not popping, there will be something else. So when Uber and Lyft declined, I seen an end in medical courier. And the reason being is because with it being a recession, being the pandemic, I was like, I needed something that was going to withstand that pandemic or another pandemic. And medical courier was going to be it because that was the need at the time. If you remember when the pandemic was, hot and heavy, everyone had to be inside except the essential workers. Well, medical courier, food delivery, that was essential. So when I got into it, I was like, all right, I have the qualifications. All you needed was a car, you needed to be over 18, and a smartphone, and then whatever insurance you had. And I was like, all right, I can do this. Now I was a little skeptical because this was something that was partially new to me. I didn't have many people that was doing it around me, but I had one on YouTube, went to a class similar to this, and I was like, all right, this might just be a thing. So I took everything that I had invested in throughout the years, because I had did drop shipping, I had did affiliate marketing, and I had a lot of knowledge just because I've always been pouring into me. And but the thing is that I wanted to be able to act on the things that I was learning. So 3 weeks later, I was making over 5K a month, and all I was doing was delivering medical specimens plus medical supplies. You see these blue and green bags right here. These blue and green bags used to have blood valves in it. And think about, excuse me, individuals that come in have to get their blood tested. And remember at that time, COVID was very, very strong. So you was always getting your blood drawn or you're doing the swabs. If you're getting your blood drawn, then that is not where they test at. Wherever you get the blood drawn at, 9 times out of 10, that's not where they test the blood at. So that's where medical couriers will come in. We will come in and take the blood valves and then go to different hospitals and clinics and pick up and take it to the main hospital. We do that all throughout the day. And then remember, I told you there was some medical supply stuff as well. And this was the medical supply stuff. Sometimes they'll just give a bag and be like, here, deliver it to this hospital when you go and pick up some more bags. So normally the top of the day, this is where I will come in and pick up all these bags. I will do a little sign in to say which bags I picked up. And then I usually have a cart there. And if they didn't have a cart, then it's up to you to get a cart. I never had a cart. I always either use one of their carts, and then I used to go with my husband, and he was like my my handy dandy cart, so which made everything good. And then once you go ahead and pick up, you just go to other hospitals and clinics and either pick up or drop off some of the bags. That is all that you do. It is very, 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 very simple. So I did that. And the greatest thing about it, it was no special skills. I didn't have to have no secret connections, and I didn't even have to live in a popular area. Now, although I didn't have to live in a popular area, I knew that I still had to go to popular areas because I did do Uber and Lyft. And because where I'm at, so I'm about an hour away from LA, Los Angeles. So I'm in Riverside County. Now I had already knew doing Uber and Lyft that the money was not out here with us. It was out there in LA, in Orange County, in San Diego, in San Bernardino County. It just was not in Riverside. Not saying you couldn't make money, but I wanted to make a lot of money really fast and I wanted to stay busy. So I had already knew that with Uber and Lyft. So I took that same strategy with Medical Courier. I said I didn't want to just apply for in my area. I wanted to go to poppin' cities. So even if you don't stay in a popular area, 9 times out of 10, you're surrounded around that. And if you open up your mouths, I want to say to over 100, hey Jocelyn, 100 miles, you can get those type of opportunities. And the greatest thing about it, all I was doing was driving. That's it. By the second month, so when I first started, I was in the middle of the month. So I made a $5,000 and I was just like, wow, I made that and it's not even in a full month. The second month, I was doing over 8K. I was doing actually $8,500 months and I was only working 3 weeks out of the month. Because again, if you know about driving, you can get tired. It is a lot of driving, a lot of wear and tear, not just on your car, but on your body. So normally I would take the fourth week off and I would drive really, really, really hard 3 weeks in a row, and then I would take the fourth week off. That's why I was doing about $8,500 a month. If I was doing the full 4 weeks, every once in a while I was doing 4 weeks because my husband started to see how much money I was making. He was like, I want to do this with you. So when there were times that we would do the full 4 weeks and make over 10K a month. And the greatest thing about it is that I was able to reinvest in my current business. So me and my husband at the exact same time, and yes, during the pandemic, a lot of people was like, "You're crazy. You shouldn't be opening any businesses during the pandemic." And we did. We opened up an event space studio. And although I was still building business credit for the business, I didn't have much money to like play around with it. So that was another reason why we started doing Medical Courier so we can be able to reinvest into our current businesses. Well, that turned into being able to upgrade our lifestyle. So once we did that, this is our event space studio right here. This is me and my husband. And then the event space studio. And the reason why I chose this is because it was an interchangeable business. So it wasn't just one business the exact same way. What we were doing is allowing people to be able to throw their baby showers, their weddings, their own pop-ups, our own events there. And so it was a lot of opportunities out there for us to make money, even though the pandemic was going on. And that's my biggest thing. Even now, I don't invest in businesses that I'm just like, oh, I just love it. It brings me so much joy. No, is that the money? Is that where the money is? Is it going to withstand, something crazy that happened in the world? That is usually where my mindset is. So that's why I started to invest in those type of recession-proof businesses. Yes, Faye, we will have a replay will be on the YouTube channel. So I tell everyone, and I've told you all that you need to get uncomfortable. If you are staying comfortable, you are not going to see results. You're not going to see the money. You're not going to get to the bag. So that's what I started doing. I said I wanted to go all in. I told you when I lost my father, I said I wanted to have zero regrets. So we invested in a new business, which was the event space business. Then I said I wanted to invest in something else, which was the medical courier side hustle that turned into another business. Then someone was like, you need to start speaking. You need to start, sharing your story. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't want to do that. I was scared. I didn't need, like, even doing this right here, I didn't even want to do that. Someone told me during the years, even way before this, they were like, you should start doing free classes. You should start doing challenges. And my only regret is that it took me a year to finally start doing it. But my only regret is that I should have started a lot sooner. So that goes the same thing for you all, whether it's medical courier or anything else, do it. Don't wait on it. It's because once you do it, you're going to be like, it's not even that hard. That was actually easy. And so you'll sit there and be like, you'll contemplate it. You'll think it's terrible, but I tell everyone, if you're scared, sprint toward it. If you feel like, oh, this is a little uncomfortable, sprint towards it. Do it. And that's what I started doing. I started networking. I started speaking. I started asking. Like, remember, whatever you don't ask for, you do not get. And then I was invited into a government contracting networking event with this guy right here, this young man, Eric Coffey. If you know him, he has about 20 plus years in the government contracting space. He is considered, as you call, a guru. He is dope. So then I started speaking. I went on a stand store If you ever been to like my link in bio, the stand store, then they had an event out here in Los Angeles and they invited me and several other creators and they wanted me to share my story. And that's what I started doing. I started sharing with people how do you get started with Medical Courier and how you can too. Then I had my first mastermind here and I was sharing with people how to do a government contracting because as soon as I started learning more and getting results in my business, I started sharing with everyone else. Then I even featured into on the podcast, The Circle of Greatness, right here with Nehemiah Davis. So overall, the concept of all of this, whether you are beginner or advanced, is putting things that's in your car or someone else's car and then delivering it to these medical companies, whether it's a clinic, whether it's a hospital, it does not matter. So thousands of people who have tapped in to the system were able to duplicate it. They made money fast, but I do want to put emphasis. This is not a get rich scheme. This is not a you make a lot of money in the next 30 days, you make $1 million in the next 6 months. Yes, it can be done, but not with your car. If we're talking about government contracting, yes. But again, you still need to get your business contract ready and some more stuff. Also, like I said again, it is low competition. Has been a little bit more individuals that has been getting out here and doing medical courier work, but I tell everyone, and the people, including myself and you, can only drive in a certain area, and it's gonna last for only a certain amount of time. And for us, 3 or 4 routes, or maybe 5 to 8 routes, that's a 10-hour day. So it doesn't even matter if you're like, hey, I want to work in this area, in this area, in that area. You really can't because you're only one person. Now, the only way to work around that is if you start the business side, get the contracts and get individuals who already have a van, who already have a box truck, who already have a car, and get them contracts. But nonetheless, this works for everyday people. No guarantees it's going to work for you because I don't know your hustle. If your hustle is like mine, if you have a this has to work or it has to work. I'm going to go after it every single day. I'm going to be consistent. This is why I asked you in the beginning of the class. Are you consistent? Or are you just interested? If you're consistent, you will see the results. Again, this is one of the number one making money making opportunities that I recommend to all my family and friends, including my husband. Now, just a small little short story. My husband, he started, he started with me. Let someone else in. He started when I was about a month in. Because I told him, I was like, I'm doing this whole medical career thing. And he was like, okay, another business. Because if you know me, I love businesses. I love to talk about them. I love to start them. That's just what I love to talk about. And so when I first started, he was working at Walmart distribution center. He was at the warehouse. He was doing 10-hour days. He was working overnight. Like they was working his behind. And so after the first month, and he seen how easy I made $5,000, and I made it in the daytime, and I was back in the house by 5, 6 o'clock in the evening time, depending on the time of the year. Sometimes I would stay till like 7 or 8, but at this time it was like 5, 6 o'clock. And he was like, wait, what are you doing? So then I was like, you need to take a leave and then come over here and start working for me. So that was when I started to be able to make the 8K, the 10K months, is because we was working together. Now, although you don't have to do this, I'm just sharing with you, you can do it with a partner. You can do it with your spouse. So there are times where I will work the afternoon and he will work the morning, or I'll work the morning and he'll work the afternoon. Like if I'm driving in the morning, he's in the car sleeping at least a couple hours because we were leaving at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me. And if I needed a nap, vice versa. Like we was really working as a team. And I tell everyone, this is stuff that you can start doing right now, but also you want to get your business contract ready at the end of the day. So John right here, he has 3 contracts he's landed, but then he said he has his cage code. What is a cage code? That is a code that you need in order to start getting government contracts. So anyone that wants to start making money, that big money without their car and hiring individuals, you need that cage code. So I say, make money right now and then work on your business on the side. It's not going to be a matter of if, but when you get tired of driving. I got tired of driving. I was driving for at least 5 to 6 years. It was a lot. Not saying that I wouldn't do it over again, but you're going to have a breaking point. So you should know what is going to be your exit or your next level. Like what you're going to do next. And if you want to stay within the medical courier, then why not even better get your business contract ready so you can just get other people who already have a vehicle, who already says, "Oh, I want to drive. This is what I do." Get the contract for them. Another one of my students, Mustafa, did this. He worked for a medical courier company that gave him a vehicle. Then he went ahead and bought his own vehicle and was doing extra $200, 200 plus dollar days, in addition to what he's already working with another company. What about contracts with the post office? I love contracts with the post office. They are not as many. Not saying that you can't get them. There is contracts out there for the post office. It's just I've seen more with the medical courier. So I just tell everyone you should be going after all of them: medical courier, medical supplies, post office. Because remember, the post offices is not just you in those cute little blue shorts going to individuals' house dropping off mail. No, I'm talking about you going to these warehouses and getting bags full of mails and then going to the next warehouse and to dropping them off. This is not just regular USPS mail delivery. But yes, Faye. Yes, Faye. So you're probably wondering, how does it work, Leela? So let's break this down step by step. I have a three-step formula that me and my students use to land high-paying delivery opportunities. So the first step is finding a contract. This is what I did. I don't want anyone to feel overcomplicated. It is not hard at all. I'm telling you, this is one of the easiest type of side hustles and businesses that I have ventured into is because I've done it all. I've done a lot. I'm talking about over 20 plus that I've invested in businesses, and medical courier is by far, if not the number one, the top three that it doesn't require anything but consistency and commitment. All right. So I have 5 sites that I use in order to find medical courier and courier opportunities. They're going to be Indeed.com is going to be your number one. ZipRecruiter is number two. The CLDA.org is number three. Number four is going to be CB Driver. C as in cat, B as in boy. So CB Driver. And then the fifth is just going to be good old Google.com. I tell everyone, do not overcomplicate it. Go on those sites every single day, sometimes 2 times a day, and turn on your notifications. I promise you, that is all you need to start to get contracts with your vehicle. CNC, consistency and commitment. That's right, Denise. The next thing is you need to update your resume. How many people in here feels like, oh, I don't know if I have the experience already to put on my resume? Put me in the chat. How many people? If you already have the experience, this is great. I tell everyone, do not go in here and start to recreate a whole new resume. No, you just want your resume to reflect the current or the previous position, the current or the previous position. You do not need your last 10 years to put medical courier. Now, although I told you in the beginning you don't need an experience, you don't. But I like to put the experience on the resume just so if you have multiple people applying with experience without the chance of them choosing you without experience is going to be very high. They're not going to choose you. But the chance of you choosing someone that has experience is going to be greater. So I love to tell everyone to at least put something on your resume. Don't change it all up to all your last 5, 7 jobs as medical courier. No, put your current or your previous. So Jocelyn, yes. Would you put Uber, Instacart, and those type of gigs on your resume? Most definitely. So for anyone that already has that experience, put that on your resume. That's what I put on mine because I didn't technically have medical courier, but I had courier, I had independent contracting, I had delivery all on there, and that all qualifies. But what about for individuals that don't have that? So who in the chat does not even have Uber, Lyft, DoorDash experience? Let me know in the chat who does not have that. Gibbs says, I don't. Shauna says, I don't. All right, cool, cool, cool. If you don't, but I'm here to tell you you do. Everyone, answer this question. Have you delivered food to a relative or to your child or to your spouse for the free 99? Have you taken a loved one to the doctor, whether it was your mom, your dad, your grandma, your spouse? You know, have you went to the Rite Aids or whatnot and picked up a prescription for your loved ones? Well, that right here, I'm telling you, that is medical courier experience. Did you get paid for it? Not directly, indirect.
Yes, I have.
That's what I'm talking about. I see iPhone. I don't know who that was. But that is what you can take the experience and put it on your resume. Again, if you're feeling like, oh my goodness, how to word it, you can do two things. You can use good old Chat GPT. We'll talk about Chat GPT shortly on how it can benefit you in your business, or even just getting updating like something simple like your resume. But then you can go straight to Indeed, put in medical courier, and take some of those keywords and put it on your resume. The next thing you need to do is that once you got that resume, you need to update that and put that into Indeed, put that on ZipRecruiter. So when it comes time for you to search, they will automatically pull your resume. The next is you want to get your keywords in order. So you want to get, I have medical courier, courier, independent contractor. Then you could do 1099. You can do delivery jobs. You can do car. If you have a van, you can put van in there. These are keywords. When we're looking for things with our vehicle, you need to have keywords. So let's do some examples. Put in the chat your city in your state. Put in your chat your city in your state. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put in your keywords. That's the first thing. The second thing you're going to do is that you're going to open up your mileage to 100 miles. So let's go ahead and do some real time examples. So go ahead and put your city and state in the chat, and we're going to do some live. You're going to do some live searches. All right, so we have, what we have? Let's do, I don't know what that is. Durham, North Carolina. So we have Durham, North Carolina. Going back to our keywords, let's do medical courier. So the thing is that we're only going to do one keyword at a time. We do not go to the next keyword until we apply for everything. So the first one is going to be medical courier. So medical courier, it has 25 jobs, opportunities, and a 35-mile radius. And I told you we need to be opening this up to 100 miles. So let's open it up to 100 miles. So our 25 turned into 75. You see that? If you want to stick right there locally, you can, but we are trying to maximize our earning potential by getting the most, the max, the max. So I want you to apply for everything, all 5 of these pages. This page, this one, no, right here. All 5 of these before you go to the next keyword. You might say, you might do 2 to 3 pages a day. All right, cool. The greatest thing about Indeed, it'll tell you that once you've applied already. The only thing I would tell you to look for here that you should not be delivering, and this is just preference, I don't think that you all should be messing with UPS or like package delivery or Amazon Flex. And not to say there's anything against it, I just don't want to do that. And 9 times out of 10, if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to tell you all to do it. You can, but I don't believe in putting 300 packages in your car and then going around the neighborhood, stopping and starting, trying to find their house or their apartment, getting bombarded with dogs. I don't want none of that. I don't like that. So I suggest that you go ahead and pass on those. Pass on those. And you'll see it. Some of them you won't know until you start to read the description, because then they'll try to finesse you a little bit, and then like the front description, like the short description, will get you, and then once you start reading the long form over here, it'll be like deliver 300 400 packages. Nah, I skip. Abort. All right, so that's the first thing. You want to make sure that you are putting multiple keywords and then making sure you open up your 100 miles. So let's go to the next one. So let's say we go to the next one. Then that's where we go here. This has over 800. Make sure you really look under Courier, because Courier can have those packages. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about. The next thing is the most important thing. Okay, no, I'm wait on that. So I want to know, everyone, when are you going to start work? When are you going to start looking? When are you going to start looking? When are you going to start to take action? This is not stuff that information that you're just going to take and be like, this was a great class. Now let me go about my next day and so on and so forth. No, you need to be taking action now, tonight, early tomorrow morning. But anything else other than that is the wrong answer. And I'm telling you, if you don't, you won't see the results. Yashonda says tomorrow in the morning. Tian says tomorrow. Veronica says right now. Travis says right now. I love it that everyone is doing it right now because you could be listening and just applying, especially if you already updated your resume and it's already uploaded to Indeed. Just go ahead and start. Now remember, everything that I just showed and I just shared is for Indeed. You're gonna rinse and repeat for ZipRecruiter, rinse and repeat for CLDA, rinse and repeat for CB Driver. Now I will say CB Driver is not going to have that many opportunities, but still look on there a couple of times a week to see what comes up. All right, so step one, we already got rid of that. Step two is going to be a landing the contract. How are you going to land the contract? Is this a business that I could just start on weekends to get my feet wet since I work full-time jobs? Yes, ma'am, Denise. I would just suggest that also when we talk about apps, you should be adding apps because a lot of medical courier, not all, but a lot is Monday through Friday. But then there's some opportunities that they need individuals for Saturday and Sunday, especially for people that need last minute delivery routes completed. That's where you can come in. But I also going to tell you to use apps. But we'll talk about that shortly. Because apps, and I'm not talking about Uber, Lyft, DoorDash. No, there's medical courier and courier apps that you can use to deliver within your car, so you can just turn it on, versus trying to wait for someone to give you a route. I love both. You want to use both. You don't want to do one without the other. So, two is landing the contract. How are you going to land the contract? You're going to land the contract by applying, applying, applying. If you want to see results, you need to do, I say 25 to 40. Excuse me. When I first got started, I was on 40 to 50 a day. I was doing some in the AM, some in the PM. Make sure you turn on your notifications. I said it earlier, but you need to turn on your notifications. The reason why is because great opportunities do not last. They will come and go and they will take it down. You'll see it one day and then you won't see it again. And I'm going to give you an example. When I first got started, I was applying for the 40 and 50. The company that I got hired for that paid me the most money, Crosstown, when I was going on the interview and I was talking, because I have to get the gap. If I'm gonna get you on the phone, I'm gonna be asking questions, I'm gonna be inquiring, I'm gonna be over there, putting my little touch to it to where I'm making may make you laugh. I'm gonna do whatever I need to not just get the opportunity, but also get my questions answered. So I asked him, I was like, hey, so I noticed that this opportunity is not there anymore. And he was like, yeah, after about 2 or 3 days, we usually take it down because we get over 200 applicants. So for anyone that's like, oh, I'm gonna look every other day, every 3 days, or once a week, I promise you, you will lose on opportunities. I promise you, you really have to be consistent. What did Denise say? The CNC, consistent and committed. Tay says same. I love it. All right, so 25 to 40. How many are you going to be applying for per day? How many? How many Zoom? How many IG? Nothing less than 25. Nothing less than 25. You really have to go all in. Now, everything that I'm telling you does not cancel out the next thing that I'm going to tell you. You got to do it all. I look at what we're doing in like boxing. You can't knock somebody out with one finger, two finger, three fingers, four fingers. You need five. You need a fist. And that's how I look at it with this. You're not just going to be able to apply here and there. You're not just going to be able to reach out to these couple of different sites. You have to do everything. So I gave you a list of partnering companies. So there's companies that you're going to be able to find on Indeed or ZipRecruiter, and there are other companies that you're just going to have to go ahead and find on Google. You don't want to do one without the other. We do them all. So go ahead at this time, screenshot, write down. I'm going to give you 10 partnering companies that you should be calling out and reaching out in the next day. And remember, my strategy is I like to touch individuals, companies 3 times, sometimes 5. If you're up for the challenge, 5, but 3 at the very least. So I'm going to go on their website and I'm going to apply. 9 times out of 10, it'll either be at the top or the bottom, all the way scroll down that says drive with us or apply to be a driver, something of that nature. You're going to apply. That's contact 1. Then about a day or 2, if I haven't heard anything, then I'm going to call them. That's number 2. Yes, Dash is another one. That just didn't make it to the list. Number 2 is calling. Number 3, after another day or 2, if you have not heard anything, I'm going to email them. Hey, just checking the status of the application. I have this vehicle. It's this year. Make sure it's at least 10 years. 10 years from today. So we're 2025. It needs to be 2025, 2015 or newer. Now, everyone that has anything under 2015, you can use apps, and there's a lot of apps that do not require you to have a new car. They don't ask you none of that information. But for these type of companies, they want it to be 10 years or newer. You can even use a rental car. I use a rental car. We can talk about that later, but I use a rental car. I started with my car, then I rented a car and did all my deliveries via the Hertz. I use Hertz. So you do 3 things. You're going to apply online on their site, you're going to call them, and then you're going to email them. A lot of times I'll take it a step further, is that I'll sit there and go on their actual page and send them a message. Send them a message is different from applying. I'll send them a message. Then I'll go on LinkedIn. I go on their LinkedIn, put their information in, and try to look for the sales manager or someone like that title email. So then I can send them an email. So my goal is to get in front of as many people as I can. Because think about it. A lot of people tell me, well, there's no medical courier stuff. I can't find anything. It's because no one knows this is what you're doing. You need to get in front of as many people, because remember, this is a numbers game. If you want to get 1 to 2 interviews a week, or even get 1 or 2 contracts a week, you're going to be applying for that 40 to 50 a day. Every week when I first got started, my phone was ringing off the hook. It's because I put so many leads out there. I put them all out there. It's like, hey, I have this vehicle. I'm ready to work. The goal was, and what the goal is, for them to get so tired of me that they either A, tell me to leave them alone, or B, give me a contract. One of the two. And I even suggest that you reach out on a consistent every 2 to 3 weeks, just because I'm going to share with you towards the end of the class that a lot of these companies get government contracts. And if they get government contracts, that means that they're winning consistently. They're winning consistently. That means they consistently need new drivers or additional drivers, because people do quit. They move on to different opportunities. And then on top of that, if they expand in other areas, then they need other drivers. All right, so this is the other 10. Make sure you screenshot, make sure you take a picture, and what are you going to do? You're going to apply, you're going to call, you're going to email at the very least. At the very least. Next. So remember, we have other type of medical couriers out there. We have organ life-saving courier partners out there. So a lot of these partners will deliver medical courier, medical supplies, medical specimen, but then they'll also deliver organs. And you want to position yourself to be on every single one of these companies' lists as available to work, available to run these different routes. So write down these 5 courier partners. Write these down. Write these down. And I tell everyone, you just need to find one to start off. You always can add more later. And I'm gonna tell you this right here. I don't care if you found one in the next week. I don't care if you found a route in the next week. You're gonna still apply. And the reason because 9 times out of 10, that's not the best one. And you'll never know if you don't apply some more. The first week of me applying, towards the end of the week, I got a contract. I was so happy. And I was like, this is great. I seen results. I was like, but is this the contract you want? Does it pay that great? No. I kept it up. The second week, by the end of that week, I had another couple of contracts. I was applying so much. By the third week, that's when I got crosstown. I would start the company. I would start driving, and someone I didn't even just go ahead and complete it. I'm telling you all, this is because you never know where that money is, where the max is. And if I would have just stayed at contract one or two, then I would never be able to sit there and have this class right now talking about I was making $500 to $600 a day. Because you really cannot stop. Even when you think you have a bomb opportunity, you probably don't. And even if you do, get another one and you can put them together. I am an advocate of putting your multiple routes together, multiple routes with apps, is because that's how I was making 85 plus $100 a month. It was not from one route. Granted, Crosstown did pay me very, very, very well because they do get government contracts. And I'm gonna back that and show you what type of contracts I'm talking about. But you need to just find one for right now, but don't stop. Continue it. Can we stop contract? In other words, get help from family members to help you, like you and your husband did together? Yes. So we had an opportunity for us to drive. Then we also had an opportunity for us to become vendors, for us to find people to drive under us. So at one point, we was making like 300, 400, $500 a day. And then the rest of the money, the rest of the time, we use other apps to make it for sure a $500 day or a $600 day. But for example, let's just say we had something that got $300, paid $300. Then we had an opportunity to hire someone under us and pay them whatever we want to pay. So let's say we paid them $250. We kept the $50. Now again, it's a numbers game as well. You're going to need 10 drivers for you to actually see and make this worth your while. For us, because this was our first contract, we didn't want to hire anyone. We wanted to keep all of the money. We wanted to keep all the 300 or 500 or whatever we made, because that 1000% went into our pockets. If you hire someone, keep in mind, you're not getting that whole bag. You're going to get a partial, just a little bit of it. Jay, do these companies pay health insurance? Some do, some don't. Most of the time, there's something that you can add in addition to. With Crosstown, they let me add something in addition, but I wind up waiving it. And then when you're W-2, because remember, you can be on demand, how I was, or you could be a W-2. If you're W-2, then they're going to offer the health insurance and all that extra stuff. Gina, can you negotiate your paydays? Most definitely, and you should. When I was working for Crosstown on demand, they're going to tell you, oh, this is the mileage, this is the stops, this is the pay. If you say yes, they like, got them. Don't, don't. I always renegotiated, even when I thought that I knew that this was a good price. No, 9 out of 10, you're giving me the base. You're giving me the base, the least. So that's what I did. I renegotiated, and every single contract, I got more for it. No one in this room should be taking what they give them. Now, it's one thing if you ask and you keep on and they're like, no, this is the price, then fine. But at least ask. At least ask. If you're going to get involved in an accident, can you still do this? It's only my fault because my state makes it automatic. If it's the person in front of you, your fault. Nikki, my suggestion is to apply. Do not take my word. And I tell this to everyone, it's because I had an accident on mine and it never came up. It never came up because you don't know what are their qualifications. You don't know how far they go back. So I tell everyone, just apply. Let them tell you no. Even if you say, "Oh, I think I had a misdemeanor on my record and it was several years ago," just apply, because you never know what they will say, and it's up to them. You welcome. All right, so let's keep it going. The next one, the next one is stacking. We need to be stacking. Excuse me. You have to stack. This is how you make your money. I tell everyone the goal is to have 1 to 2 main medical courier routes. And if you can get anywhere from 1 to 3 apps, you're winning. That is a 6-figure year. I've done it. I've done it with Uber. I've done it with Lyft and with Instacart. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. When I first started, Uber and Lyft was great, but Instacart was even greater because it allowed me to stay in my city without going into LA, into the popping areas. And mind you, this is during the pandemic as well. This is right, and when I this is right before I started Medical Courier. I was doing Instacart. Do you know at the end of 1 year doing Instacart, I made over 60K on one app. Now, mind you, I told you I had other things I was doing, other apps, other routes, but Instacart alone was over 60,000. I made so much money that I was able to qualify for a duplex. A duplex. So if I'm able to do that from one app, imagine what you can do with multiple apps and multiple medical courier and courier routes. All right, so this is how we leverage apps. We go apply, 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 apply. I want you to apply to days because I know a lot of them is going to put you on a wait list. Some is, some are not. You will not know until you apply. So go ahead and take a screenshot. Go ahead and write it down. I'm gonna give you a couple of more seconds before I take it up. If you say you're using your own personal vehicle but want to use a rental, is that being dishonest? No, it depends on how you phrase it, how you voice it. So how I did it, I applied for everything with the own vehicle that I already had. At this time, we had me and my husband had one vehicle, but it was two of us. The vehicle was in his name 1000%, but the insurance was in both of our names. So when I applied, whether it's for medical courier or apps, I put all of that information on there. They wanted the registration. I gave them the registration. I gave them the insurance. And remember, the car does not have to be registered to you, but the insurance needs to have your name and that person's name on there 1000%. Now just remember that. Remember that. Zoom says I can't see your screen. Leave and come back. Sometimes Zoom acts a little funky. Leave and come back. So then once I got it, I applied, and once I got it, I went ahead and told each and every one. I was like, "Hey, so is it okay?" Mind you, I already made it comfortable. They already loved me. They always like, "Leela, they're cool. She's cool." I could tell. And that's all a part of my strategies because I'm going to ask you for something later on, but I need to get nice and good with you. And so I was like, "Hey, I'm going to be using a rental car sometime because the car I have, it's just our main car. We don't want to put all the mileages on it." And this is what I did. I got real low in tone and I was just like, I do what I have to do. And so they all said the exact same. Oh yeah, sure. You just need to make sure that that insurance is covered. Your insurance, you got insurance covered. I was like, yes. So I was like, I'm not going to go out here and use the insurance on the rental car. It's too expensive. So then I was like, I need to do research. And this is before Chat GPT, because now I would just Chat GPT some stuff. I was like, I need to find an insurance that's going to cover a rental car if I get a rental car. And that's when I switched. I switched it to Geico insurance. I had researched that Geico will insure the full 30 days on your rental car on that insurance policy. But after the 31st day, it is invalid. So if you get a car accident on the 31st day, they're not going to cover it. I was like, bet. So I'm just going to keep the car for 30 days and then redo it another car or even the same car, but I'm going to close it out and do another rental. And that's exactly what I did. I did that so much to where for several years I didn't even use my own car to drive. I used a rental car and I would switch it out. Sometimes I would switch out every week is because I like to rent the whole car for 7 days because that's where you get the best pricing. You get sometimes you get promo from it. So I keep it for a full 7 days. And on the 7th day, I'll just call them up and be like, or you can do it in the app, like, hey, extend it for another 7 days. And then extend it for another 7 days. And then extend it for another 7 days. On the fourth week, on the end of the fourth week, by that time, I already put in a new rental, a new car or new reservation, and I am going back into the facility to tell them to either give me a new car or they'll switch out the contract, but they'll keep me in the same car. Because there are sometimes I like the car so much, I'd be like, can I keep this car? And they'd be like, yep. Like I done had Mustangs, I done had Chargers, I done had Altimas, whatever you want to name them. And I love it is because if you didn't know this, I used to flip cars and I still do. My brother have a dealer license, so I flip cars like around tax season a lot of times, around graduation time too, because a lot of people will be buying their kids cars. cash. So I would flip cars like that and do it like that. But I'd never like to use that for a medical courier or even Uber Lyft because I already knew that that's a lot of wear and tear. You don't want that on the vehicle. You want a car that works really, 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 really well. But that's another story. That's another story. So leverage these apps. If I get a contract, how can my husband help me? Will his name have to be on the contract? It depends on the contract. It depends. It depends if like for at least for me and my husband, when I got the contract and he went with me, I was with him. So it was like like at the end of the day, they didn't all the way care because there's sometimes they were like, he can't go into the facility, and I used to be like, but this is my dolly right here. This is what I need to transport the bags and stuff. Or sometimes they'll be like, well, he can't come in, but he can wait outside the door. So that's when his name didn't have to go on there. But then when there were times when I just was not going, then we had to wind up getting him an actual account through the company I was working for across town. So there were times where they would call me for the contract and he would go with me. And there are times that they will call him for the contract and then I will go with him. Either way, you have to understand how that contract is set up. But 9 times out of 10, if you are getting the contract in your name, then you're not going to be able to send him unless you sign up as a vendor. As a vendor, that means that the contract goes in your business name, and then you hire subcontractors, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is how you get some apps. These are just a few apps for you to get started. I always tell people, because of what is going on nowadays, that it's a lot of different wait lists going on. You want to leverage more than just the typical apps. So I just shared a couple of different type of apps, but under different categories that is not the same as delivering, whether it's medical courier or courier item. We have field inspection agents. So there's a lot of real estate investors, even government agencies that need us to go in and take pictures. Take pictures of the property, take pictures of the company, of the land or whatnot. And these are some sites that you can sign up for. So you can take pictures. All you're doing is going up there to the location, click, 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 send them in, and then you're getting paid. You do that several times a day or several times a week, and that is an extra stream of income. And then you also have sites like InstaWork or WorkWow. These are sites where they have already job opportunities on there. No, it's not specifically medical courier or courier. Yes, you can find it on there, but it's not specific. But I like to give you other avenues that you should research in. It's because one of my good friends, she was working for Instacart. That means she is finding stuff on Instacart, working it, getting paid for it. And in some instances, she was getting paid the same day, if not the next day, because Insta work was kind of working like how some of the apps are, where you can cash out the same day or the next day. But the greatest thing about it is that she found some medical opportunities on there. She found one opportunity that turned full time and she's doing over 100K a year. And all she's doing is cleaning up the like she's a considered a sanitation worker, but she's cleaning up the beds, the utensils, the not the utensils, what are they called? Like the specimens, like the things that you have to do the operation on, anything in a hospital that needs cleaning, that's what she does. And the greatest thing about it is that she go all around the USA. Like right now, she's in Utah right now, cleaning hospitals in Utah. Then last week she was in LA, Los Angeles County. And then the week before that, she was in San Francisco. And the greatest thing about it is that she found it on InstaWork. And I'm only saying this because that I've never seen that on Indeed, on ZipRecruiter. Never have I seen that. But just giving you just an idea of getting yourself in different areas or different apps where you can see these type of opportunities. Not saying that you want to work everything on InstaWork, but there's a lot of stuff on there. Like I seen stuff on there that was $200-300 a day, $300 or $400 a day. And I'm gonna share some screenshots as well with you. Denise sterilization, yes, yes, she was just sterilizing all of that. And mind you, and because at first I was like, wait, so you cleaning up blood? No, when she showed me pictures, it was like when the equipment gets to her, it's already been sanitized one time. She's just doing like another step. So there was already somebody that took off the big blood, like the large amount. It was just like very minimal, very dried. Even some stuff I didn't even see. on the naked eye, but it still needs to be cleansed. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Like it's so good that to where she's about to move up, and my husband was like, holla at me, and she was like, got you, is because she's only working 3 to 4 times a week, and sometimes she's not even working full 8 hours. And so I'm like, medical is where it's at. Yes, there's other opportunities, but I just feel like medical will make sure that we always are going to be eating. All right, so this is how I turn one bag into multiple bags, is by stacking different apps. And this is what I teach my students as well. I teach them, don't just stick at one, go two, three, four. It does not matter. It's all that you can handle within your week, within your day. It does not matter. And I have a student here, Shay. She is doing anywhere from 2,000 to 2,500 a week on three. On three. So this is the three-step formula that I have used, and I've shared with others how to make money with their car. But I want to know, how much money do you want to make in a month? How much money you want to make in a month? Do you want to be making an extra 2K a month, an extra 3K a month, extra 5K, extra 10, extra 15, extra 20? If we're going over 10, 15, 20, then no, we need to start the business size most definitely. Okay. So Gina says she want to make 10K. Tori want to make 5 to 10. Sharita says over 5. Who else? Who else? Who else? Tian says 10. Zoom user says 15. Rebecca says 10. Carla says 8. Carmen 10. 6. Denise 5. All right, I'm here to tell you that who's that? Andrew says I want all the money. That's right. I feel you. So anyone, what if you already have logistics business registered, Samuel? Then use that. Do not go out here and create anything. Use that. Use that, because that falls under the same category. But if we're going the business side and even going to private contracts and government contracting, I still will use whatever business you already have, get those contracts, start to make some money, and then start another whole entity that you want to just be geared and have a medical name. But I just want you all to get started now versus starting over. Not saying that's terrible, but it just takes time. Excuse me. All right, so everyone that wants to make under 10K, I'm here to tell you you can do it. With me, I always like a plan. I always like to know, what is it that I have to do a month? Then I can scale it back and say, this is what I got to do in a week, and this is what I need to do every single day. Then I know what are my goals. A lot of you all will think that, oh, I want to make 10K, but you have no idea how to do that. I want to make 5K, you have no idea how to do that. Once you see it visually, then it's so plain and so clear. So I have this little graph that I made. This is based off of a 5-day work week. Whether you're working Monday through Friday, whether you're working Wednesday through Sunday, it really does not matter. This is 5 days. So for anyone that wants to make 5K per month, it breaks down to $1,250 a week and $250 a day. Once you know that 5K is $250 a day, 5 days a week, and you can make 5K a month, you will see so much clear that it is very much so doable in whatever state or city that you're in. I promise you. Because I started off in like around here, like in between 5 and 75. Once I reached over 5K, I was like, let's raise that goal up, because I seen what I was able to make. Because at first I wanted to make like 250 a day. And then I seen how fast 250 a day was. And it was like a half a day of me working. I was like, what if I go to full day and go about it that way? And this is what I did. I broke it down. Then I said I wanted to make 7,500 at least a month. That's 1,875 a week, and that is 375 a day. I'm here to tell you that is not hard at all. The 10K per month is a little bit more challenging, very much though still doable, because I was doing $500 to $600 a day. But keep in mind, I was driving anywhere from 8 to 10 to sometimes 12 hours a day. This is why I would take the fourth week off, because I was out there driving. I said if I'm going to be out in there in these streets, if I'm going to be traveling to LA, I need to make sure I maximize my full day. Because I don't want to just go out to LA for 4 or 5 hours and drive all the way back. No. Because if you know LA and coming back into the IE, you know that it's going to be traffic. Hey, going from one LA to another part of LA is a lot of traffic. So going to different counties is a lot. So now that you know what you have to make a day, let's do some I'm gonna bring up some apps and I'm gonna bring up some numbers. All right, I'm about to go Instagram because I need to use my phone. Make sure you DM me Zoom if you want to come over here and see the slides. All right, I need my calculator because I know numbers, but I don't know how to add that fast. All right. So what I did was I got some screenshots. I got some screenshots of courier opportunities. I picked somewhere near me, Riverside, then I picked something here in Texas, and I'm here to share with you. This is the least, and then this is the max. I'm here to show you that you can make a bag with even smaller contracts, but you have to have other apps. You have to have other apps. So let's say anyone that's like, hey, they're semi-aggressive, they landed them a contract. And remember, do not don't apply just because you don't like the number. It's because you never know what it is that they want you to do. There's plenty of opportunities that'll be like 120, $150 a day, and you're not even working full. You might be, oh, you do 3 or 4 routes and you're done. Oh, I need you at AM and PM from this time to this time, but then you can come in with other apps to fill up the time that you're waiting for the next or the PM if you're working in the AM. So remember, do not sit here and already cancel out something. Apply. You could tell them no later because remember, you're in control. The greatest thing about me getting into business for myself, my confidence level went all the way up to the sky. I went from me having a mindset that's like, oh, I need this job. I was like, you need me. I'm being so serious. I was getting so many job opportunities and I could not believe it because there were so many times in my life, in my 20s and my early 30s, that I would literally just beg and it was just terrible. And then they still didn't give it to me. But then I changed my mindset and I got some confidence. Oh my goodness, I started getting opportunity after opportunity. But anyways, let's just say you're doing 120 a day. And keyword, like, look at this. This is part-time to full-time. So you could be doing 120 on a part-time day easily. So let's say you're doing that 120 and you have you a couple of apps. Let's say you have 3 to 5 apps that you run in a day along with this right here. So we have, this is the app right here. This is delivering. This is $35, 8 miles, 29 minutes. $35. So let's say we add 35, that's one app. Then let's say we run one of these apps right here. And mind you, these apps is usually a few hours to maybe 4 hours. So let's say we run this one right here at 80. That's 2 apps. Then let's look at some more. This is picture taking from like I view it, the ones I gave you to be a field inspector. Let's say you did, 2 or 3 of these, especially if they're in the same vicinity. So let's say you did a couple of 7s and then a 12. And then you said, okay, I'm gonna do one of these, a $29 one. Right now, that's at $290. $290. And if we go back here, we've already made our $5,000 months. Mind you, this is one medical courier route. This is one app. This is 2 apps. This is 3 apps. This is the same app from the other page. So you really don't need a bunch of apps. You just need, 1 to 3 or 2 to 3. If you can get 2 to 3, you're winning. Now, let's just say the more aggressive person is saying, no, I actually was committed and I found me a $200 to $500 a day. Let's come in the middle and say you making $300. Let's just say you're making $300 from one app, excuse me, from one main medical courier route. And then you said, I want to do a couple of these. And let's say you skip this and you do another one of these right here. And then let's say you say, I'm going to do this one right here. It's another $29 one. And then this right here is InstaWork. This right here is InstaWork. This is why I like InstaWork. This one is actually a low paying. This is a low one. This is $160 for from 4:30 to 8:30. And this is where you see right here, I'm not playing. We're in November 9th. This was just last week, November 2nd. If you add that, you're now at 553. 553. If this is why I sit there and say, I can't guarantee that you'll make the same amount of money because I don't know your hustle. But if your hustle is anything like mine, you're going to make the 4, the 5, the 6, whatever is your goal, you're going to make it. But my goal is for you to all today to you to visually see how it is to get to that goal. I'm not just saying make $500. I'm sharing with you how you're going to do it. Then I'm going to show you visually how you're going to do it again. And then I'm also share with you students who've done it so you can get that motivation. But remember, if you're not consistent, if you're not committed, you're not going to see these results. What you do in the beginning of this business, beginning of this stage, is really going to tell whether you're going to be successful or not. If you're going to make that big bag. So I have another option. So for everyone, it's like, oh my goodness, that's how I make 400 or $500 or $600 a day. That's money. That's where the money is. And I'm here to tell you that's not it. I told you, you're not going to want to drive forever because you're going to get burnt out. I want to share with you high paying medical courier and courier routes, doing business with the government, or even doing private, doing business with private companies. Now, remember Crosstown I told you about? Crosstown Courier? So let me just backtrack just a little bit. So Crosstown, everyone's homework tonight is to Google Crosstown. Google Crosstown Courier. Put Crosstown Courier in the search bar. And I want you to keep in mind is that Crosstown has about 3 different websites. And the reason why is because they get government contracts. And they have these different websites in different regions. So when I first applied for Crosstown, it was for the California, the Vegas, the New Mexico area. That's that region over there. I mean, that had Utah and a couple other Washington state. And then they had some in the Midwest, like the Utah, Chicago, somewhere over there. Then they also had another website for like your Florida, your Georgia area. And I'm only sharing with this because some people will sit there and be like, oh, Crosstown, not my area. You said it was. Well, they got 3 websites. Because you see right here, when you put Crosstown Courier in, it is Go Crosstown right there. Then you see another one. This one is Crosstown Couriers. Then you see another one right here. This is Crosstown Courier Service. My suggestion is apply for all of them. Apply for all of them. And if you want to not drive, even if you're not in the area, apply to be the vendor. That means that you hold the contract. Once they give it to you, you hold the contract and then you hire subs. That's a little advanced, but I'll take it back. If you just want to drive with your car, check out these 3 Crosstown. Now, the reason why I talk about Crosstown so much. Do you need to get a DBA EIN to start, Teresa? So if you're starting with your car, technically you don't. But I suggest everyone to have it. It's because when you're getting courier contracts or medical courier contracts with your car, there's going to be companies that's like, oh, I want you to only apply using your social security and your name. Then there's going to be other companies that's like, no, I don't want that. You have to have your DBA and your EIN and your business bank account. So this is why I tell everyone is to, if you want to maximize your potential, then get both. Especially when if your long-term game is to be able to get these type of contracts I'm about to share with you right now, you're already I'm starting early. So then once you get to the point, once you already started driving and you're like, all right, I'm ready to go to the next step, you'll be ready to go to the next step because you already have your DBA, your EIN, your LLC, your business bank account. You have all of that. So let's go back to Crosstown. Crosstown. Today is November 9th. Today is November 9th. Keep that in mind. This site right here is called the fpds.org. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, especially with this whole government shutdown. But I'm here to share with you that even though there's a government shutdown, government contracting is very much so still alive. People are winning. Bell doesn't matter the name of the entity. No, when we're talking about government contracting, it doesn't matter. But if you are starting from scratch and you want to do government contracting, and I suggest that you do a parent company name at the top. Parent company name could be broad, it could be whatever. And then you can put a DBA or an LLC under that parent company name, like let's say it's an S corp. You could put a DBA or LLC under that and call that medical courier. So for me, let me tell you what I did. I have a parent company name. It's called Leaders Acquiring Businesses. A lot of you know that I go by the Lab Academy, the Lab Group. Well, the Lab, LAB, stands for Leaders, L, Acquiring, A, B businesses. So Leaders Acquiring Businesses. That is my parent company name. That's my S corp. I have a medical courier company under that as a DBA, as a DBA. So then when I go ahead and apply with different companies or bid, yeah, they'll see my S corp, but I can go ahead and use just my DBA. My DBA stands for your doing business as name. Carla says, what is the website again? It's called fpds.org. This site shares with us all of the federal contracts that companies are winning. Now, it does not show the city, the state, or the county contracts that people winning. This is just the federal top of the list. So, Crosstown, what I'm going to show in these next two slides is only Crosstown. Yes, I can give you more examples of medical companies that are running that are medical courier, but this is what I'm here to share with you is that these companies are winning contracts, but then they're also on Indeed or ZipRecruiter looking for drivers. So your homework should go on those websites. And if you find the email, you should find the email. I want you to send them an email as well. It's because November 9th, November 7th, they just won a 349, let's say $350,000 contract. 2 days prior to that, they won a $72,000 contract. November 3rd, a few days prior to that, they won a $500,000 contract. This is all medical courier, by the way. This means that they are the prime and they're hiring you and I as subs to run this route. Or they can hire vendors as well for us to have it in our business name, and then you turn around and hire subs. October 30th, a few days prior, $14,000. Right here, this other one you can barely see is a day before, $153,000 contract. This is not even 30 days. $1.1 million in medical courier government contracts. This is why I tell everyone, yes, you can start off with your car, with your vehicle, because you should. Get the experience, get the know-how. But then on the side, beginning your business contract ready or government ready, really doesn't matter. So when it comes time, you can go after these type of contracts. And remember, I told you, so these contracts over here are being won on sam.gov, are being won on DIBS. So sam.gov has service and product-based contracts. DIBS have just product. That means if you have any type of product from medical supplies to paper to anything, because the government can't just go out here and say, hey, I need that, I need that. They have to go through small businesses in order to get the items and the services they need. That's why it is a need for us, small businesses. And then there's a certain percentage that they have to do business with the small business owners. Then there is, so that's federal. Then there is state, and then there's county, and then there's city. You can find all types of contracts, but we are focusing right now on postal, on hospitals, on school districts. Mind you, because school district is courier. You may not be able to find too much medical courier on our school districts, but you can find courier, which is still transportation, going from one school or delivering items or whatnot. It doesn't matter. So this is why I tell everyone you need to get your business contract ready. So let me ask you, has this class been valuable so far? Has this class been valuable so far? And when are we going to take action? Are we going to take action today? Are we going to start today? And make sure you stay to the end because I will give you a free checklist on how to get your business contract ready, is because you should be simultaneously working on getting contracts with your car, but then getting your business contract ready, because that can take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks. So before we go, I want to share a quick synopsis of doing business with the government, but medical supplies. That is without your car. I want to share with you a 3-step process on how to win medical supply contracts. I don't want to overwhelm you, is because a lot of you all still need to do what? That is get your business contract ready. In order to do government or even these private contracts, you need to have your business contract ready. But I just want to give you a small preview. So how much money you need to start winning medical supply contracts and not using your vehicle? You can do anywhere from 250 to 2,500 to start off. But remember, or if you don't remember, I'm going to share with you when you're getting your business contract ready, that you're also getting yourself ready so then you can get vendor credit with a lot of these companies. So you're not using any of your money. But let's say you're just starting off and you're like, hey, I'm still working on that. Excuse me, and I want to start to at least do medical supplies while I'm also doing medical courier driving. And remember, like again, you don't need a car, a van, a box truck, or a cargo van. You're going to find these medical supply contracts on SAM and as well as Dibs. So the first thing you need to do is find the product. So I just want to do a quick preview because I don't want to overwhelm everyone because this is a lot of information. So Dibs, remember, you can start looking right now. You don't have to be registered. You don't have your business don't have to be contract ready, but you can at least look at it. So if we go to dibs.com, excuse me, have them put this in the chat. All right, so I'll put this in the chat so everyone can follow along if they would like to. So this is the Dibs site. Mind you, Dibs has only medical supplies. Sam has supplies and services. Right here, this is only medical supplies. So we're going to go to the third tab, which is RFQs. Then we're going to go to this drop down button and we're going to hit Federal Supply Class. So you can either do, it's either going to be named Federal Supply Class or PSC code, which is Product Service Code. Either way, in the beginning of the class, I was sharing with you, you need keywords in order to look for the contracts with your car. Well, over here, you need numbers. Government use numbers. So write down these numbers. We got 6515. So then when you want to look later, 6525. Then we have 6530. These are medical codes. This is how you're going to find the medical contract. So right now, we're going to hit, again, Federal Supply Class, and we're just going to put 6515. Right now, as of November 9th, 2025, there's 732 medical supply contracts. You have clamps, you have tracheal tubes. What else we have? We have knee braces. You have cervical supports. You have surgical burrs. Half this stuff, I don't even know what it means, what it is, but I know it's a medical supply product. We have splints, we have cables. This is where you what? Find the product. The first thing is you need to find the product. Excuse me, you find the contract, and then from there, this is where the product sits. So this is the product. The nomenclature is the product. The codes is 6515, 6525, and 6530. Grady asks, can this work be done with felons? Yes. If you're trying to go get a medical courier route, you will get a lot of pushback from companies. But if you're starting the business side, your business is not a felony. You may have a felony, but your business is not a felon. And this is why I want everyone to go the business route, whether sooner or later, is because you get more opportunity. And then you don't have to sit there and let whatever happened in your past dictate your future. All right, so this is your product right here. This is your product. So let's open up this one. This is a splint. This is it right here. All right, so the next thing is you want to find your supplier. One thing that Dibs does is Dibs gives you a lot of information that Sam doesn't off the bat. Sam gives you the information, but you gotta have a little waiting game. You gotta email a contracting officer. But one thing I like about Dibs is that they tell you everything right then and there. So when I click this, the solicitation is going to download. This is the solicitation. It's going to download. So you click here and it's going to download. When you scroll all the way down to procurement history, first thing it tells us is who's been winning and for what price. Bomb, right? Why is this bomb? It's because with government contracting, you are trying to win. And in order to win, you need to be the lowest bidder. So that means how are you going to gauge, being the lowest without underpricing your own self and then not making much money? This is how you do it. Because you're seeing who's winning previously and for what price, for what amount, and even it tells you who's the company that's winning. But going back here, we need to find the supplier. If we go right here to the first page, this is our approved source. This tells us who is the company who is allowed to sell their product, which is this universal splint. Now, even though they told us who is the supplier, excuse me, the manufacturer, a lot of times you can't do business with the manufacturer. They're going to tell you need to go to our supplier, you need to go to our distributor, or you need to go to our dealer. But this information is a lot for us. So think about it like this. Let's say you had to get iPhones, and I'm only switching up the product just so you can understand what am I saying. So let's just say they wanted iPhones and they said that Apple has the only place that you can get iPhones because iPhones is made from Apple. It is up to us to find suppliers, distributors, or dealers that have it. So that means Best Buy, that means Sprint. No, not Sprint. We don't have Sprint no more. T-Mobile. What else? Verizon. Those are considered suppliers, distributors, or dealers of the iPhone. So even though we see the approved source is Lighthouse, we're going to try and see if we can find the supplier, the distributor, or the dealer. They already told us one great big piece of information. We're going to take this and now put it into Google to find individual companies that also have this universal split. So to make sure that you have the correct one, you need to make sure that you are always referencing the part number. If you go out here and say, I found the universal split, but the last four is all correct, except these last four is 7,000. That's not the right split. That's not the right split. These are the important information that's going to give to us to make sure that this part number belongs to this company. It does not mean you can't go to the supplier, you can't go to the distributor or a dealer. Make sense, everyone? The next part is bidding. This is rather very, very simple. On Dibs, you just go here. It is a one-page bidding. It just takes one page. It's rather simple. Let me see if I can get into it. Sometimes it acts a little funky around this time. I think we're good. So let's do it again. We wanted to bid. I just want to walk through this real fast so you're not like, okay, let me see. So this is you bidding. You go ahead and select bid without exceptions. You put the quote, which I usually put vendor quote number is the name of it. So I will put this name. Then I will put packaging requirements. Yes, I put the discount terms. I put it's valid for at least 30 days. I'll leave this right. This information, you just verifying it, and you find that all here in section B, which is right here. What else? Let's go back here. Then you put the price. So remember, the price is going to be what it is that you get the quote for plus your fee on top. I tell everyone 10 to 30%. Again, you're going to you're going to reference that from the procurement history that we have here, the pricing history. That's how you know if you're going to win, especially if no one is bidding, then you can bid more, price it more, but you'll never know until after the bid is done and you either win or you lose. So you want to stay competitive by viewing this and having that help us in order so we make sure that we stay in a very competitive price range. Then you're going to put the minimum order quantity. The variances, 9 times out of 10 is no variances, not like it's a small, large, or if it's different colors. It's not that. Minimum immediate shipment, if you have all or some, then you put that. And then I usually put right here The range. This is the range where you're going to give them a discount because the mindset behind it, let's go back here. The quantity is five. Five. A lot of times they need consistent items. So they may want five here, but the next month they may want 50 or 500 or 5,000. And so I usually put a range to where if they get 1 to 100, it's this price. And if they get 101 to 500, it's this price. And you want to give them a discount every single time. Again, I know this is a lot, Carla. This is why I don't want to go too far into it. But after you fill out all the rest of this is very, very straight to the point. You're going to press next, and then you're going to review it, and then you're going to submit it. Overall, again, you're not going to do this just yet. It's because you need to get your business contract ready. But I'm just here to show you what your goal should be, your future goal, your near goal is to be able to get private contracts, able to get government contracts later on in your business. But all my day ones and my beginners right now, you need to start off with the basics, which is getting a contract with your car. Start driving, start making some money. And then the next step, getting your business contract ready. And then the next step, getting contracts with private, government contracts or other partners. I'm just here to share with you your short-term and your long-term goal. So isn't it obvious that this is going to be your path to freedom? Getting into this business, whether you are going to be working or partnering with someone, or you're going to be a prime contract holder. So let's recap. I know this class is getting kind of long. We've reached past our hour and a half, but we're about to wrap it up. So let's recap. So you now know the three-step system that I've used, and in order to make an extra 8K a month with only your car. Then you also know how to start and scale a medical supply business, or at least know what is your long-term goal. No car needed. And then you also know the beginner medical supply companies, the apps that I gave you, the strategy that you need in order to take this business from start to finish. So again, I'm asked, was this class worth your time? Is this worth your time? I know that you can now start making money. You should have a more clear strategy. Let me ask you a couple questions. Can you now see how to make this 2 to 8K a month? In the beginning of the class, I asked you if you were going to be committed or you're going to be interested. For everyone that was like, I'm still interested. Are you now committed? Are you now committed? Isn't it obvious that now is the best time to take advantage with whether it's the medical courier or the medical supply, no matter where you're at? Do you think you can get the same results, if not better? Now, I know you can because I did it. Even with what I showed you today, you've gotten the roadmap, but the real question is, are you going to walk it alone? Are you willing to give yourself the next 30 to 60 days? So let me ask you all a question. Give me a yes in the chat if you now feel like you have a clear strategy. Give me a yes in the chat if I delivered on my promise and gave you the three-step formula and some that you needed in order to get started. Give me a yes in the chat if I have your permission to share with you what I was talking to you about government contracting, about staying consistent. I have a lead list and some more stuff. Let me know in the chat if I can go on further. So how would you like it if I can personally get you direct medical delivery routes and apps and help you bid on medical supply contracts when that time comes? So what I have created, it is called the Lab Academy 2.0. And this is what's inside the Lab Academy 2.0. It has a medical courier mini course. And this course is kind of like this class, but a little bit more. I give you homework. I give you lists. I also give you the medical supply workshop for everyone that's ready to go to the next step, which is getting government contracts, medical supply style. I also share with you how to get paid with the government, whether it's medical courier or medical supplies. Inside the Lab Academy, we meet twice a month, bi-weekly coaching calls. So if you need help with routes, if you need help with contracts, if you need help with how to speak to a sub, how to hire, if you need anything more, that is what this Lab Academy is made of. Now, I also share with you how to personally get your personal credit up at least 100 points, the things that I've used. And why is this important? When we're talking about elevating from just driving to now whether you want to invest in a vehicle, meaning like a new car, a new van, a new box truck, a lot of companies, before you go ahead and get your business funding, they want your personal credit to look good. So I'm going to share with you inside the Lab Academy, how do you do that? And I have so much more inside. So I do have some fast action bonuses that anyone that wants to invest. So I'm going to give everyone already in this class shortly my Get Government Contract Checklist. So whether you get into the community or not, I want to give this to you all. It's because I want you to at least start getting your business contract ready or government ready. So when the time does come, you'll be ready to go. Also, as a bonus too, you're going to get my medical courier ebook. Then we also have my lead list. So the lead list is very cool. It's because a lot of people ask me, "Oh, I need help and I don't want to do it myself." Even though I just be like, "Child, do it." But I try to make it better. So inside of here, I give a lead list. So the additional, if you look at the tabs down here, there's tabs. The additional leads is everything for the most part that's nationwide. Then we have an Oregon tab list right here. Then we have California, we have Oregon, we have Washington. If you go right here to the three dots, you can toggle to where your state is. Now remember I told you, you need to go on their website, Google it, and you're going to apply. Then a couple days later, you're going to call, and then a couple days later, you're going to email. You're going to do the exact same strategy I teach you in this class as well. So you're going to get the lead list. Then for my advanced individuals that is ready to do government contracting and write your own business proposals for these contracts, I give you my Chat GPT prompt. The prompt is very, very helpful because I use AI as well, Chat GPT, and then I have the prompt, and then you need to have pay the $20 a month for chat in order to do what I'm going to tell you to do, which is getting a solicitation, putting it into chat along with my keywords or my prompt or whatnot. And it'll help you write your proposal without having to pay anyone or ask anyone for assistance. Speaking of assistance, I'm able to go a lot further and farther is because I've hired a virtual assistant. I use virtual assistants over in the Philippines, and you can pay them anywhere from $4 an hour to $7 an hour, part time to full time. And I say this is because it's for anyone that wants to, go need a little bit of more assistance in their business. I teach you inside the Lab Academy how to find your VAs, what to put in the application, how you're going to hire them, how you're going to pay them, how you're going to give them access to your passwords, how do you set up your SOPs, how to do video calls and give them tasks, how to clock in, how to clock out, and so much more. I'm giving you everything inside the Lab Academy that I use to not just run this business, but multiple businesses. Because my VA, she helps me with everything. She doesn't just help me with with government contracting. She also helps me build my website because we're updating my website right now. She's helping me do that. She makes my mock-ups for my event space studio. She makes my flyers for that. She's helped me with that website. So the virtual assistant can help you with even getting leads. Like she's gotten me leads, find contracts for me, find the websites for me, find the emails for me. She is the bomb.com. So that is also included. Bonus number 6 is I also share with you how to use leverage grants, which is free money. So you can use that money in order to invest in vehicles, vans, or even product for your medical supply business. It really doesn't matter. And I believe in expanding. Also, as a bonus, I'm giving you a mobile notary course so you can add to the medical courier business. It's because you want to make sure that your medical courier business, you are using it for multiple streams, whether you're doing medical courier, medical supplies, mobile notary, DNA, drug testing. These are other things that you can add, and those will be coming to the Lab Academy. I am going to add those, and as well as a vending course. This is where I started. This is what I started, and this whole entrepreneurship. This was one of the most successful businesses I had, was vending machines, and it's very beginner friendly, and you can start this with your family and your kids or whatnot. So all that and some is located inside the Lab Academy 2.0. Now, I do have a 12-month access for $297. The greatest thing about it is that you all don't have to pay that. Because you stayed with me to the end, I want to give something to you all, which is a great discount that I only offer when we have these classes, is I'm giving you a $100 discount. Instead of $297 for 12-month access, you're going to pay $197. Again, that includes all the courses that we just went over, bi-weekly calls each and every other week so if you have questions, and every other course that I will be adding into this academy. So I would like for you all to join now for the Lab Academy 2.0. And remember, you will have until midnight to lock in your price. Lock in your price, midnight. So I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. And you can go ahead and grab it tonight along with the fast action bonuses. Again, 12 p.m., a.m. Pacific Standard Time. After that, it goes back to $297. I still think it's a steal if you ask me, but I want you all to make sure that you have an opportunity to join a community that is affordable. It is worth it. So you can be able to take this business to the next level. So at this time, I want to open it up for questions. Any questions right now? Any questions? So can you use two methods of payment? No, but I did do something even better. Let me open this up here. What I did was, if you go to my school community, which is the Lab 2.0, you have to pay at full price $297. But the link that I just gave you all right here, this allows you to do payments. You can chop it up. They have Afterpay. I think they got Klarna, and I think one more. Yeah, Afterpay and Klarna. Yeah, those two. So that means you can pay later and then still be able to access the community right now. So that's the greatest part about tonight. You will have access to be able to, do payment plans. Let me give the chat. I got you YouTube. Where we're at. All right, next question. Any questions? With my vehicle being under 2015, what's the best option? So you're gonna have a couple of options. I would say, for one, if you still want to get started, but you're like, hey, I need to hold on one second. All right, there it goes. If you want to still get started and make money while you are working on the business side, I suggest that you go after the apps, get some apps so you can be able to make money now. But most definitely, I do believe that you should be getting your business contract ready. Oh, look, let me do that. I forgot. Let me give you my checklist. So the checklist right here, let me go ahead and put this over here in the chat. So this is the Get Government Contract Ready checklist. This checklist is going to guide you on the things that you need to have completed so you can go after private contracts and you can go after government contracting. So the first and foremost, if you already have your name, your business domain, your EIN, LLC, then you can skip all the way down to 11, which is getting registered with sam.gov. But if you're brand spanking new, then you should be choosing your name first, getting your domain, which is your www dot name, and then go ahead and pay for that for the full year. And then I want you to register your entity, whether it's an LLC or an S Corp. I have both. I have both LLC and I have both S Corp businesses. It is up to you. Me personally, I switched and only do S Corps now just for tax purposes. Then you're going to get your EIN number. You click here. It is free 99. You get your DUNS number, which is free as well. I want you to get this is because I want you to be able to start building that business credit. You need that. Not necessarily right this second, but you will need that later on. Then you're going to look up your NAICS code. You're going to have to get attached to NAICS code. You click here, you put in the keyword, and then it'll pull in your NAICS codes. Very simple. Let's say it's medical courier. You search it, and then boom, that's your NAICS code. You can pick any one of these, but normally I usually pick the 492110. Then what else we're going to talk about? Let me exit this out. Then you're going to go ahead. The most important thing is 6A is you need to get your physical address in order. So a lot of people was going to tell me that, they can't invest in a physical address. So can I do a virtual or a PO box? And that is absolutely no. Absolutely not. They're not going to do business with you. They're not going to register you at all with the virtual or PO box. So you need to use a physical address. Well, a physical address can be like a brick and mortar, something on a boulevard, a suite with your name. Your mail comes to you. And if you don't want to invest in that, because I don't suggest that, especially if you're in the beginning stages of making money, then you use your home address. A lot of people are like, I don't want to use my home address. It's either use your home or take out that wallet and invest in a space. And that could be anywhere from $300 or $400 on the low end, 1,000 to 1,500 on the high end, depending on where you're looking at. So I just tell everyone, start with your home. And then once you start to get contracts, you start making money, then go ahead and invest in a physical address on the boulevard and then change all your paperwork to reflect that physical address. But if you don't want to go that route, then go use your home. The next thing is you're going to get a business phone number. You're going to get a business email address. You're going to answer these questions right here. And when you're doing all of this, when you're gathering all of these questions and whatnot, you really need to make sure that you are building something similar to what I have this checklist right here. This checklist right here. Go into Google, go into your Google Drive. Everyone who has a Gmail has a Drive. You want to go over there, and then from there, you want to be able to create a whole document so you can start gathering all of this information and making a list of the things that you've completed. This is very important, is because when it comes time for you to register on sam.gov, they're going to ask you all of these questions and more. And you want to have a location where you could just grab everything at once. Also, the reason why I tell you to do this is because when you're registering for SAM or your city and your state, they're very sensitive to where you have to make sure everything is congruent. What you put on your EIN address or information, it needs to go on your LLC. It needs to go on your DNB, your Dun and Bradstreet. It all needs to be congruent. If not, they will deny you and tell you to go back, amend everything. And so then you have to resubmit. So for example, when I first got started, I was putting my address and then the street was abbreviated ST dot on some business forms, and on other business form it was spelled out STREET. Well, that wasn't congruent. So I had to go back and amend everything to where I either chose street abbreviated or street spelled out, and then reflect that on every piece of business information I have. Because when it comes time for you to register for SAM or register for any site or company, they're going to go ahead and see and check it against the IRS database, your state database. Anything that you have, you want to make sure it's congruent. So I said how to fix that. I put everything in a Google Doc, and then when it comes time for me to fill out a new set of applications and whatnot, I just copy and paste. I don't even type it in just to make sure that everything is congruent. Congratulations, Angela. Welcome to the community. Hang tight. I'm going to add you in the community shortly so you can have access before we get offline. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to answer these questions, which is your point of contact. You're going to get a business bank account, and that is up to you. I use the credit union. I have Navy Federal, and that's just me. I like the credit unions. The new account that I'm making right now, I don't want, I honestly don't want it to mix because I'm doing another business right now, and I'm not putting it through Navy Federal. I'm actually going through Chase for that business bank account. You can do what you want, but me personally, I like everything separate, even down to business bank accounts when I'm doing a new business, and that's something else that I'm doing on the side. So once you've gotten 1 through 9, 10 is sometimes optional, depending on what it is that you're going to do, because some of you might need a business license. You might even need a resale license. But 10 is going to be optional. But once you get through at least 1 through 9, then you're going to register for sam.gov. You're going to go straight over here and you're going to go to get started. You're going to use that Google document that you have in order to fill out everything. For everyone that is getting into the community, I have in here is a sam.gov registration video that you can go along with and guide you so you can be able to register at ease. Is because if you know, it's a little overwhelming. It's very much so doable, but it's a little bit overwhelming. What else? And so you're going to skip 12. You cannot register for dibs until you have a cage code with Sam. So for dibs, Sam is going to be your prerequisite. If you do not have a cage code, you cannot register for dibs. So once you're done registering for Sam, you're going to wait 1 or 2 weeks for them to get back. It might be 3 to 4 with the whole government shutdown, but yes, you can get registered because my students are still being registered. And as you see, contracts are still being won, even with the government shutdown. But you're going to wait to do number 12. And you're going to go into 13, which is register for your states or your state. So no matter where you're at, you're going to have government contracts on a state level, on a city level, on a county level. I want you to do that. How are you going to find them? Great question. So let's say any state that you put in, any city that you put in, you're going to put in your city, your state, your county, and then you're going to put the word bids behind it. Once you put the word bids behind it, it's going to come up with a site. It is directly associated to government contracts. So if you see here on my screen, log in and register. That's where you're going to log in your register. And then if we go right here to start search, then you can see the opportunities. And the state of California right now, let's see. It is 404 contracts right this second. Congratulations, Denise. Welcome to the community. I will let you in shortly. YouTube community, I just added the link into the chat. Okay, so every state is going to have contracts. Every city is going to have contracts. Every county is. But this is where you find the location of everything. Then you will go here to log in, register, which is already logged in, already registered. But for new, you're going to say new bidder registration. That's where you go in order to complete your registration. Once you do that and you're approved, now you can start bidding on these contracts. These contracts that Crosstown is winning and any other company. Like if you didn't know, so many companies get government contracts and you just don't know. It doesn't mean that they only depend 1000% on government contracts, because that's not what I'm telling you all to do. I'm telling you all to have another avenue that you can be able to make money when sometimes business is down from, let's say you have clients or you have B2B businesses that you're working with, but also you should have B2G clients, meaning business to government. You're the business, G's the government. So I wanted to be able for you to have a way to always make money. Always. If you didn't know government contracts, the government is going to be the biggest, the most consistent customer out there. So adding one or two contracts per quarter will be very beneficial in making sure that your business sustains, making sure that you already have money coming in and there's opportunities. Who do you suggest to get a physical address? Carla says. So it's not really like who do you suggest? It's more so getting a location, getting a building. So I suggest that you can go to Craigslist, Crexy, Crexi.com, Craigslist. What else? You can look on Facebook Marketplace. And this is to find suites, business locations that you can rent out. That's how I found our event studio. Now, granted, our event studio is about 1,500 square feet. This is where we have our events. But when it came time for me to register for sam.gov, I use this address because this is a physical address. It's not a home address. But please believe it. If I was going to redo this all over again and I didn't have a brick and mortar business, I would most definitely use my home address. Denise says, I'm in a community. Thank you, Jesus. Woo woo. You're so welcome. Congratulations. All right. Let's at this moment right now, grab um let me go ahead and add a couple people to the community. So just a cute quick overview of the community. So the community in itself, the community right here is the ability for you to ask questions, me post questions, as well. Um, if you have questions or not, you can have them here. And then the calendar is where we have our calls. We have our bi-weekly calls. So some questions is can be answered right then and there. And if we have more, we get on a call and we have a coaching call. In the classroom section, this is where right here in memberships is all the fast action bonuses that I gave you all. It sits right here. Then we also have Zoom replays. We have Business Foundation, which is your Get Government Contracting Ready. Right here we have branding. So anyone that wants assistance on resume building, building a website, their LinkedIn page, their capability statement. Capability statement is like the resume for government contracting. I did everything in my business, so I make sure I share with you all how you can do it. Yes, you can hire people to do these things for you, especially creating your website and your capability statement. But I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna overcharge you. All you gotta do is do it yourself. I teach you how to do it right in here inside the community. Then we have the credit, the personal and credit and funding as well. The medical courier course as well right here. Congratulations, Nikisha. Welcome to the community. Excuse me. This right here has a medical courier training. It's broken down in lessons. And also I have homework. Homework is very helpful is because everything I talk in here, I'm gonna share a template. I'm gonna share a list. I'm gonna share something that helps you with each lesson. So that is inside the medical courier mini course. Then we have that medical supply course that I was talking to you about. Government contracting part one. Part two is more advanced. That is not included in here. That is an upgrade. This is more of a group one-on-one mentorship, but the beginner is right here. The apply for grant, the virtual assistant, the vending class I was sharing with you. Also, as a bonus, I have a faceless IG for anyone who wants to make that digital money, which I highly suggest. And then I have some other things here that gets unlocked. So when you communicate in the community, when you post, when you like, when you do anything over here in this tab, it bumps you up levels within these leaderboards. So I have it to where no extra price, it unlocks different levels. So level one, you get a credit building ebook. Level two, you get a list of 100 plus apps. I think it's like 150. Yeah, 140 something in here. That's apps. Let me go back to here right here. Then it has a medical supply playbook. I have a product bidding price list template that helps you bid. Remember that chat GPT prompt? Well, then I have a course right here that goes along with it. Then I have a done for you medical supply bundle. Now I currently have a mini GovCon bundle, but this one is a huge one. Inside this bundle that I'm given, and excuse me, that is a unlocks at level 6. It gives you over 30 plus contracts for you to bid on. The greatest thing about it is that it already has the contract. Then it also has the description, which is the name of the product. And then I've already found the product website links. That means the links that you would need to find the product. So remember I told you, there's manufacturers, then there's suppliers, distributors, and manufacturers. I'm finding all of that here for you. Then as well, you have the vault. The vault is also going to be needed for when you win the contract. So after you win, you have to know how to ship. You have to learn how to package. You have to also know a couple of other things in here, but it's all included that I have inside of here that is extra. Then I have a packaging video. And then I have an extra product bidding sheet for the service side. So I have a one for the product, and then I have one for the service side. Let's keep it going. And then what else? Then I have 5-day challenge. This unlocks. Now, something that you all may not know is that when you are inside this community, you get certain freebies that I don't give anyone else. So I do these challenges. They're 5-day challenges. I do them about 3 or 4 times a year. The next one is up in January. Guess what? Everyone that's in this community gets a free ticket to my next challenge. I don't believe in just sitting here having you just pay and pay and pay. I try to make this to where you get perks inside the community and you pay one time, but then you get to unlock different things. So not only, let's say it's taking you a minute to reach level 7 because you don't want to communicate in the community, and that's fine. You're like, oh, I'm gonna be able to get into the next challenge, the 5-day challenge in January. Then that's an option as well as here. Then I have a couple of other, I have a 15% off of the high ticket mentorship. That's more of a group / one-on-one. And then I have a VIP day on dinner as well at level 9. So this is what's in the community as of right now. And there is so much more to come. Nikisha said, join. All right, so let's go ahead and let me get the people who is inside the community. So you can be able to take action today. Keep in mind, one last thing I want to say. Keep in mind with the calendar. So our next date to meet, we just have one on Thursday. The next one is going to be on the 18th. When you click here, it already has a Zoom link already here. Then I want you to add yourself to the calendar so you can get reminded. Now, I do remind you as well, but this is just added to make sure that you are reminded. And remember, I have bi-weekly calls going to be on the Thursdays, and then I'm going to switch to on the Tuesdays just to make sure it fits everyone's schedule, because some people are not available on Tuesday and vice versa. As the community grows, I will be adding more days to the community. So can you pay something to get into the other modules? What other modules? Because honestly, everything is unlocked except this. I mean, no, except the leaderboards. And you say, can you pay something extra? I haven't had that. I just had a community that is one price. As of right now, I don't have anything that's like another price. I just give you these. I don't even want to really charge. I want to give this to you. But you have to you have to give me something, which is communicating here. Especially if you are winning. If you won something, share it with the community. And my thank you to that is I'll give you something to unlock in the leaderboards. All right. So, Angela, can you please check your email? Everyone, I'm going to tell you to check your email who purchased and look for an email from school, SKOOL. Then you're going to register. You're going to register with your name, your email. I think that's about it. And then boom, you'll be in the community. You'll be in the community. So once you're in, please let me know. So I can make sure because I'm not getting off until everyone is in the community. No, no, sorry. I'm about to I just gave it I sent you confirmation right now, Denise. So look in your email. You should get an email from school, and from there you will be able to fill it out, and then boom, you'll be in the community. But I'm not getting off until everyone who's joined, who's paid is now joined. Congratulations. John, welcome to the community. All right, check your email. Oops, not that one. Why are you doing this? There it goes. Check your email, John. I just sent it. It should be in your inbox right now from school. Keep in mind, if you do not see it, if you do not see it, check your spam and also check your promotional folder on Gmail. And then also, I suggest that you do this from your mobile phone. Sometimes when you're trying to get into the community via email, it just does not work right. Um, Congratulations, Bruno. Go ahead and check your email. Check your email, please. And then, okay, while we're doing that, or while they're doing that, let me close out some of this stuff. I have too much stuff open. I get anxiety after so much stuff is open. And remember, everyone who gets in, if you're like, hey, I don't want to pay everything up front, I do have some payment options for you. Payment options. Congratulations, Titus. I see you in the YouTube community. All right, so while they are checking right now, I want to share winnings with the community. So I always tell people, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. You are here for a reason. So my question is, where are you going to be in the next 90 days? I want to know, are you going to still be Netflix and chilling? Or are you going to be making money inside your business? Everything that I have inside the community, it is most definitely a 20x return. 20x return. And a lot of people don't understand what is bad debt versus good debt. Bad debt, we don't make money from clothes, from shoes, from bags, none of that. But then there's good debt, money that you can invest in, or investments you can invest in that can turn around and make you money. Remember, everything that you're learning can be rinsed and repeated for other types of businesses, especially if we're going into government contracting. Whatever I share with you and show how to get government contracts, whether it's medical supplies or medical courier, you can literally take it for everything else inside of those type of bidding sites. So if you're like, hey, I want to go after janitorial work, it's the exact same systems and processes. Once you unlock and get good at bidding, reading solicitations, and going through the community and learning everything, you can literally rinse and repeat. Everything I'm teaching you, you are going to be able to apply it to your business, not just this month, but the next month and the next month, and so on and so forth. So I asked everyone 30 days from now, what are you going to be? Are you going to be 30 days older? Or are you going to be 30 days older while making an extra 2 to 7K per month? And mind you, I really lowballed it. I don't like sitting here selling false dreams and being like, hey, you can make an extra 15, 20, 30K in the next 30 days. No, I'm going to be very realistic. Yes, you can make that, but you do have to start. If you don't start, you're never going to get to that point. So you must start. I have a couple of reviews from a couple of students that came in. Christina, this is the one that did over almost 49, no, she did 49 contracts, medical supplies in under 90 days.
Hi, Leela.
Hi. You said you won three more today.
Yes, yes. Hold on. Let me kind of show y'all the copy. Hold on.
You got
Hold on.
transferred.
Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, I've won three more today. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, hold on. I think I got it on blur. But yeah, I won three more today.
You believe you won three more. So what number is that total?
Uh 13.
13 contracts. So she did 13 contracts in the second month because she did the whole. Remember, I told you you need to be doing 20 to, excuse me, 40 to 50 a day. And that's medical courier with your car. I teach everyone that's doing government contracts, you need to do at least 30 a month. 30 bids a month for the medical supplies. This is for government contracts. So within the second month, she did that. The first month, when she applied for everything. Second month, she got 13 contracts. Third month, it was a total of 49 medical supply contracts.
I got like two more independent contracts. So one of the couriers is one of the people that the lady who was making $8,000 is one of the ones she was with.
Okay.
So that one, and then another one that's kind of expanding from New York. So I'm excited because the second one is a 50-50 split when you drive. And the third one is a 70-30 split my way.
Nice. Congrats, Tori. That is great news.
So you can make money in the medical courier and the medical supplies. It really doesn't matter which route, which way you go, because Tori just did that and she was doing all with her vehicle. So this is everything inside the 12-month access into the community for only $197. And this is some of the winnings that have came from the community. Cardell invested in a van, in a pickup, and then he is doing $1,500 a week. We have Aisha right here. She's doing an extra $200 to $300 a day, and she did some of the same things that you did. Join a free class, join the challenge, and by the end of the week, she landed her first contract. But remember, it's consistency. By the end of that month, she was able to secure a solid $200 to $300 per day with multiple routes and then the apps. Then I have Mona right here. She got her first contract within the week. These results are not ordinary. I say that only because they put in the work. If you think you're just going to sit there and they're going to come to you, no. You have to do the work. I have students that invested in vans and box trucks and took in the information and skyrocketed. I have Tamicia, she joined a challenge that I did last year, and by the end of the challenge, she landed her first contract. So everyone, comment working on it if you are still working on it, and comment invested if you have invested. All right, so at this time, I want to Jack says, I've logged in. What do I do now? All right, so let's do another quick overview. So when you first come in, you're most likely going to get a DM message from me with a video welcoming you and how to navigate the community. You can watch that later, but I'm going to do a quick navigation right now. So the first thing you need to do is hit the community tab. Go here, introduce yourself, where you're from, what are your goals. Let me know what it is that you're working towards, because throughout the week, I'm going to be asking you all, are you completing the goals? Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Are you applying for 20 to 40 a week? Excuse me, a day. I'm going to be asking all of these questions because it's going to be based off of what it is that you say is your goals. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be your best accountability partner along with everyone else inside the community. When you go to the classroom section, the first thing you're going to do, especially for individuals that want to get started beginner, is go ahead and go to the medical courier training. Do that. Watch all the videos, do the homework, and take action on everything that I said in the video. Do not go to the next step. Don't go to any of these other things until you do this. Once you've done that and you started applying for 20, 30, 40, 50 a day, then you can add the business foundation. That is getting your business contract ready. You need to be working on this. So, realistically speaking, this medical courier training can be done in one day. The same day you need to be applying. After that, the next day after that, you should be starting your morning off or your afternoon off as applying. And then you need to be working on your business foundation. Once you've completed all your business foundation, then you can go to the next thing depending on what you want to work on. I think the next thing should be is working on your credit, working on your funding. Is because you want to make sure when it comes time for you to pull a trigger, which is start to bid, you got credit, you got funding together, so you don't even have to worry about using any of your funding. If you want to take it a step further and watch some Zoom replays, we have a few replays here. But then I also want you to explore it. Congratulations, Xavier, for joining the community. I want you also to explore the community. So remember those membership gifts that I had gave you all? One of the main things you should be looking at here is that lead list. You need to be you need to be applying for everything that's in additional lead tabs, as well as the organ tabs. And then you're going to find your state down here or go here and find your state. Once you find your state, then you also should be applying online, calling, and emailing everyone. So that's one thing that you can do inside the membership gifts. There's other things you can do, but I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I want you to take it one at a time. Watch the videos, complete the assignments, and actually take the action. Take action. I don't want you all going in here. It's like, I watched everything that you did, everything that you had in here. Okay, but did you do? I gave you other things in here for you to be able to make money from. It's because I don't believe in just one stream. I believe in multiple streams of income, but I don't believe in doing them all at once. What I gave you is an academy. That's why I named it academy, is because you can learn not just one, two, three, but several different businesses that you can learn and incorporate into your current one or your next one. And again, I'm going to be adding is because right now I'm adding DNA, drug testing, um, background checks, and fingerprinting to the medical career of my business. I'm working on those courses. That is something I'm going to be adding to here. So you should be always, advancing and adding to your business, but it's not to be done all at once. Not to be done all at once. For the people that's like, I don't want to drive. I don't even want to do that. The first thing you should be doing is this right here is your business foundation. Getting your business contract ready. But I don't believe anyone wants to just go straight into business. I think everyone wants to start making money with their car and then getting into the next step. Remember, this is a scale. We're going to be scaling. So what we are going to be learning today and going forward is going to help us make money now, but then also help us get to that next step in our financial business goal even later. So you don't do the start here first. Yes, you can do the start here first. The start here first is basically what I'm telling right now is the overview. Everything that I just said right here, it's going to be right here in this video. It's an 18-minute video. I talk a lot. So this is an 18-minute video. What I just gave you was just a quick overview of what it is in the community. But you, of course, start here. Start here. Can I apply for an EIN tonight? Jax? Yes. But where we at? Right here. I don't suggest you applying for it until you got your business name and you bought your domain name. And this is the reason. Now, if you do have it, great. Then go ahead and get that EIN. But the reason why I don't want you to do that first, which is your EIN, is because I like congruency. Even if you don't have you don't plan to get on a website, I like that name to belong to me. So when I first got started, I did everything out of order. I made my logo, I got my name, I did my business cards, and then I worked on all of this stuff 1 through 3 later. And then I found out is that my name was taken. So when I went to go to www dot, let's just say my name was LB Courier Services, it was taken. So I said, I got to start all over again. I had to get a new logo, a new business card, new flyers. I had did all of that first. And in reality, you want to do your name first. And then the first thing is going to googledomains.com. That is making sure your name is available. So let's just say it's called LB. Let's say it's called LB Courier Service. Let's just say it's called that. You want the .com. It's $14 a year. That means that whether you have a website or not, that is going to be your name. But this is the first step in getting your business email. So if my name is called LB Courier Service and I buy this, now my email is going to be called, let's just say it's called info at LB Courier Service, admin at LB Courier Service, support at LB Courier Service. You're not going to be using the Gmail. You're definitely not going to be using Nets or, excuse me, Dev app store. It needs to be a .com. This is why I want you to do that first because your name might be taken. And I don't want you building something and giving someone else advertisement. Because if you plan to be, big, or at least eventually, you're going to initially be giving them traffic is because your name might be this, and but then the domain might be this as well. And but excuse me, your name might be this, but your domain is something different. And you're giving traffic to someone else who already brought that. So that's why I want you all to do this first. But if you already have it, I have made the mobile business card and logo too. Okay, you did it all. All right, cool. Then I will go straight into these steps. Check one is checked off. You already got your LLC EIN, check that off. Your EIN, excuse me, you already got your S Corp and LLC. Check that off. And then this is your EIN, check that off and just go down the list. But since you already have, if you already have the first two, that's the bulk of it. Everything else is easy because you get your EIN the same day you apply within like 5 minutes or so. We got someone else join. Xavier, let's add you to the community. I'll work your path to be more safe, I believe. Yes, please do. It's because people don't be believing, and it's not me. It's really not me. It's the government or these private businesses or companies. They're going to require you to do everything I told you to do. And if you do not do it right, they're not going to register you. So many people will skip or not do something that I told them to do through 1 through 9. And then when they get here, they'll be like DMing me, why can't I get registered? Why they're not approving me? And then the first thing I ask, did you do all of this right? No, then that's why. The only reason why I am very anal about this is because this takes time if you don't do it right. Let's say you put the wrong address. Let's say you put a PO box. Now you got to go through and amend all that paperwork, and that could take a couple of weeks, a few weeks. And then now we're getting into holiday season. It could take even longer. And I just don't want you to take too much time when this process alone can take 2 to 4 weeks. Even if everything goes correctly, SAM.gov can take 2 weeks. Dibs, once you gotten your SAM.gov, your cage code, and you go in to register for Dibs, you're gonna start the registration, and then Dibs gonna say, "Hold on, I'm gonna send you a postcard. You need to wait for that postcard, and then when it gives you a series of numbers, then you need to input it into Dibs. This whole process right there can take another 14 days. So this is why I want you all to do everything here just to make sure that you get approved the first time. The first time. Because if not, you're going to be like, Leila, this takes so long. I'll be like, I know. Yes, please and thank you. Okay, I'm sorry. I started talking. I got you, Xavier. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, Xavier, go ahead and check your email and look for school, sign up, and then boom, you're in the community. Um, you need to go to the school first. I mean, excuse me, you need to check your email. You're going to receive an email from SKOOL, and it's going to say inviting you into the Lab Academy. Then it's going to ask you to put your name, your email, and I think a description or something. Once you do that, then you'll automatically be in the community. For everyone that is already in the community, you can access this community via website on the laptop right here. And as well, it is an app. If you go to your app store and put in SKOOL, put that in, download the app, and then put in your login credentials. Once you put in your login credentials, you'll be able to learn from your phone. You'll be inside this community. You're welcome, X. What do you use for your address? So I use my brick and mortar business. I use our event space studio address to sign up to register for sam.gov. It's because I already had a business. I already had an actual space that I can get mail from that's only from me. If you sit here and think that you're gonna go to Opus Clip, Regis, because they said that they got physical addresses, ask them to give you a lease. If they can give you a lease, then that is a physical address. If they cannot give you a lease, do not waste your money. Those companies just be lying. Talking about, yes, it's a physical address, and then you take it over to sam.gov, and they're gonna be like, no, that's not. That is a PO box. That is a virtual. Denise says, okay, Iron Man, you said it's better to access it through your phone. Is there an app that I need to download? I won't say it's necessarily better, it's just another option. But yes, go to your app store on your phone and put in SKOOL and download school as an app. Then once it's downloaded, you're gonna log in with the same login credentials that you logged in right now to log in on the website, and then you'll be on your phone. And if you have other communities like I do, like I'm in other communities, it'll have all of them there. Um, okay, let me go ahead and add this one more time. It might be school communities. Let me look on my phone because I can't remember. It's the one that looks like SK. It's that one. Hope you can see that. It's SK. It just says school. Actually, let me look at my app store and see what it says. Yes, it does say school communities on the App Store. So yes, school communities. You're welcome. All right, any questions? Is everyone in the community? Is everyone who joined inside the community? Or should I say, is everyone who joined did not get into the community? If you did not get into the community, let me know. Now, for everyone that is still deciding if they want to join, keep in mind after midnight, the price for the community will go back to $297 a year. $297 a year. Akeisha, I got you. One moment, please. I got you. Where we at? I'm good. Last question. Should we start here or go straight into medical courier? Go ahead and start here. It won't hurt you. It won't hurt you. It's just more confirmation. Zoom user said, how much is it right now? So right now you get $100 off. So instead of it being $297, it is $197 for the year. So if you go to the link, I'll put it right here in the chat. If you go to the link, I already discounted when you open it up. It's already discounted right here from $197 instead of $297. And then you can use Afterpay or Klarna if you don't want to pay it in full. Yeah, after midnight, it's gonna go after 12. I mean, gonna go to 297. Remember, I'm basing all of this in my time zone. So that is 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm in Southern California. So if you're on the East Coast, it's gonna be 3 p.m. for 3 a.m. for you. If you are in Central and Mountain Time, that's going to be a 1 and 2 a.m. and cutoff time. So just remember, it's going to be 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. After that, it's going to go back to 297. Any questions? Any other questions? Are you excited? I am. I'm excited too for myself. It's because I'm adding some extra services to my medical courier business. And I'm very excited to see how well I'm going to be able to grow those extra services. John says, yes, please. Yes, please. What? I'm sorry. I was saying a lot of stuff. Okay, can we have our calls on Tuesdays and Thursday? Or when we have our calls on Tuesdays and Thursday, what time will they be? I'm excited, but I'm nervous. I just I have to apply my CNC, consistency and committed, and be accountable. Yes, I appreciate you and all you do getting off because I have to teach 212 middle schoolers tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Lots of patience to you, Denise. All right, so let me just answer this question before we go. All the times on the calendar is placed right here, and then they are placed in your time zone. So you're seeing in my time zone is going to be from 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and let's just say you're on the East Coast. When you sign up, it'll be 7 on your time because that is 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's the greatest thing about it. It'll automatically populate for your time zone. You're welcome, Denise. Well, get your beauty rest in. And I will see you on the next call on the 18th. And then December, I haven't put December out because I'm trying to fluctuate it. It's going to be a little different because I'm not going to have anything probably this week because I know that's Christmas and I know a lot of people be celebrating the holidays during that time. So most likely, I think I'm going to have the December call probably this week and this week. So the first and third week. Mm-hmm. Everyone, I pray your business flourish. Be blessed, everyone. We got this. Coach, thanks again. You're so welcome. Thank you so much, Denise. Have a good rest of your night. Any other questions before we go? Anything else before we go? Thank you, thank you. I'm looking over here in YouTube. I'm sorry. I keep forgetting this is over here. Um, um, Amar says, I just paid for government bundle. What can I do if I now want to be a part of the academy? Is it possible to credit or be a part of the paid? Amar, if that's something that you want to do, um, I'll do something special. Email me. So anyone that wants to speak to me, like Omar, go ahead and send me an email at info@labgroupinc.com, and I'm gonna put it in the chat. Okay, Keisha. Put it in the chat, and I'm also gonna put it over here in the YouTube chat. Email me info@labgroupinc. And okay, company. All right. All right. Keisha says she is still working on it. Cool, cool, cool. Who we still have in here? We still have some people in here. Um, what else? Let's go here. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna stay at home mom. Can any app allow a child to ride alone? Um, you're welcome, Ross. See you in the community. You said, is there any app that could allow your child to ride alone? So yes, but at the same time, it depends on how old your child is because at some point you have to get out the car. And in some instances, you may be out the car for a few minutes to maybe 5 minutes max, depending on what type of app it is and or delivery. But there is a lot of apps out there that don't be in your business, or at least you don't tell them. It's because when I did Roadie, when I did Dispatch It, when I did Rapid Us, these are three different apps. I didn't even have to like they didn't have to know that my husband was with me. He just stayed in the car. If you're like, "Hey, I'm delivering this," and you got your baby on your arm, then they might say something. But like you said, if they just in the car, or let's say you have someone else in the car watching your child, that can work. But just keep in mind, you don't want to fill your car up with too many individuals, it's because you're going to be delivering. And if you're doing multiple apps and or multiple routes, then that's going to interfere with your space. So just keep that in mind. Let's I see someone say that they're in. Let's see. Welcome, Aikisha. I see you. Welcome to the community. So let me go ahead and give you that email. All right, check school, SKOOL. And then we have Everesty. Did I say that right? I'm sorry. Welcome to the community. Let me go ahead and put your email in here. And then check school. Check school, you're so welcome. Check school for the invite. All you have to do is put your name, your email, and I think a description. Um, and then boom, you're in the community. You can go ahead and go to the community tab, introduce yourself. If you haven't already, Nikisha's introduced herself. She's inspired, excited to be here. So go ahead and introduce yourself and then head over to the classroom. If you missed my overview, go ahead and go to start here. But I also send you a DM as soon as you get in that gives you a video like this as well. And then from there, this is where you unlock your membership gifts that I gave you those bonuses. And then here, all throughout here will be how to access everything. And then also I have a support. So I have it to where, if you need support, then you can go to the community tab right here and ask any question. You can join the live Q&A calls, will be twice a month. And then you can always send me an email to myself. It goes straight to me, not anyone else. Just please allow 24 to 48 hours for me to return your email just because um, a lot of times I'll be having a lot of emails and it is just me answering emails. So please allow 24 to 48 hours. And then anything new that I drop inside the community, I will put inside the community tab. Any other questions before we go? Any other ones? John says, at what point do we get clearance? You should have it now. Did you not receive the email from school? I'm in school but can't find you. If you're in school and can't find me, then you need to go right here and look for the community. You probably have more than one community. So I have more than one community here, and I go here to toggle between the communities. Lisa says this is more of a self-paced guide to do it yourself. Yes, and so. This it's not just medical courier. It's medical courier, it's medical supplies, it's credit and funding, it's partial government contracting to get started. Then we have other courses in here if you want to expand your business, like virtual assistants. I show you how to hire your VA, how to apply for grants, which is free money, replay Zoom calls, and then we also have bi-weekly coaching calls. So if you need extra mentorship, if you need extra guidance, if you have questions, if you just need to just vent and tell me what's going on in your life and how I could be of an assistance, then I'm here on these calls as well. But you have options. You have options. Lisa, if it says if I have any other questions, can I email you? Yes, you can, but I do suggest that your questions go inside the community tab. Reason being is because when you put questions inside the community tab, when you introduce yourself, when you tell, oh, I just got a contract, then it unlocks levels in the leadership. So after you have gotten so many points, you unlock level 1. Then you unlock level 2 and so forth and so forth. These are free incentives that I'm giving you, but it's also very beneficial because this also helps you in your business, especially like the app list. So if everyone is like, oh, I need a list of all the apps, then you need to start communicating in the community tab and get to level 2. You generally can get to level 1 and 2 within like the first week, depending on how much you are communicating inside. John, are you able to toggle? Did you find it to toggle and find Lab Academy 2.0? You're welcome. I just got your email, John. He says no questions right now. John says I'm working on it. Just emailed you mentorship. Yes, I just received it. I don't want to get off of here until you are in, John. I'm overwhelmed with joy. Awesome, awesome. I'm excited for you and everyone that's getting in. This is something that I do believe in a lot and has been in my business for the last, what, 3 going on 4 years. And I started off just how many of you all did was in your car. Then I said, I gotta do something else because this driving is for the birds. I can't do this no more. Um, and then I said I need to do something better. And I always am like thinking about the future. And I said, I don't want to just invest in anything. I want to invest in things that I know that can um, withstand different types of struggles that happen in the world. And I feel like government contracting is one of them. But I don't allow those things to deter me. If anything, it motivates me. Do everything that's happened in the world, at least, of my 41 years on this earth, I've always seen the positive. You know, there's been some things that happened that I was like, oh my goodness, that's terrible, but it's always been something positive I can take from it. And from business, I've been able to capitalize and get a win from it. And I think through the pandemic, even with the government contracting, how can you, eliminate the noise, eliminate the distraction, but benefit, be of value? I make you proud. Okay, it's just struggling to find where things are right now, John says. And I get it. But that's why I want you all to focus on one thing at a time. Do not go in here and try to do everything at once. Really focus on one and then move on to the next thing. And right now, the focus should be uh, medical courier with your car. Mano says I can't get in. Did you receive the school? Um, did you receive the school email? All right, so as soon as you receive the school email, open it and then make sure you're on your phone. It tends to work best on your phone. Once you're on your phone, go to the email and then click it, and then it's going to tell you to sign up. And it's going to tell you to put your name, your email, and I think like a short description. And once you do that, you press submit or enter, and then it'll automatically populate you inside this community. Let me know once you're done with that. I didn't even see. Oh, I'm not. Nikki, are you in here still? I'm looking at side messages and I just seen something. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me look at Lisa. Congratulations on joining the community. Have you seen side messages y'all be sending me just to me? Okay. All right, let's get in. Felicia, congratulations. Welcome to the community. Let me go ahead and invite you in. Remember, you're going to be looking for an email from school. Once you find that email from school inviting you into the Lab Academy 2.0, then you're going to put in your name, your email, and your short message, and then submit, and then you'll be inside the community. Oh, welcome, Lisa, to the community. Again, let me send this out. All righty, that is sent to you, Lisa. And then go ahead and fill out your name, your email, and a short message, and then you will be populated inside the community. It works best when you are logging in for the first time on your phone. On your phone. Mano, what's going on? Are you in? Are you in? Yep, you're in. I see you. I see you. First thing, go to the community tab, and then let's introduce ourselves. All right, I see the intros. Yes, Mano. Whoop, whoop, you're in. I'm glad we figured it out. Let me know when you get in, Lisa, to make sure you're good. You too, Felicia. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. And then I'm also excited. It's because I really want y'all to get started. And the reason being is because I do plan on bringing out new information, the new services I want to add to the next challenge that I've added into my business. Um, Lisa, if it says my email is already in use, I need you to, do you already have a school community, a community inside a school that you are already in? Like, for example, I have these other communities that I'm in. Are you already in there with another community? If so, I want you to log in under there. You don't think so? Because that's the only thing I can say. If you have another email, can you please give it to me? I can get you in if you have another email. If not, I'm going to need for you to try to log in to school and with the email that you use to sign up and try to see if you use like a password that you like normally use. But anyways, I really want you all to get started. It's because the new information that I am going to be giving you all in the next 5-day challenge in January, you need to get started, now. And that's the big reason I'm not giving it to you now is because it's gonna overwhelm you. I need you to get started. I posted my bio. Did you see it? Let me see. I think it just said new post. Yep, I see you envisioning a new makeover. I love it. I love it. Oh, welcome, welcome. Let me know, Lisa. Either try to log in under school to see if you already have an account, which I'm thinking you do. But if you don't, and it's still hard, can you give me another email? Can you give me another email, please? Please. I'm looking hungry. I'm so excited. Oh, I need to charge. I'm about to cut. All right. Hello, to be a mission phone call. Oh man, I'm sorry. Let me take this down. I have a new post. Xavier's in the house. Hi, Xavier. Test, test. Oh, welcome, welcome. How do I take this off? I need to take this off. There it goes. Let's try this one. Okay. It's always one person's email that just don't want to act right every time I invite people in. And I don't know why. It just does not want to act right. Okay, check that one. Gatsy.Lisa. Can you give a friend, can you give a friend your purchase link for the same price tomorrow? His name is Edward Mendoza. No, not the same price, but I will say this. When I do these classes, um, I drop the price. If you purchase outside the class, it's regular. And then on top of that, when I do live calls, like on Instagram or on TikTok, I drop the price then. I'm not supposed to tell you that. It's supposed to be a surprise. But John, if you want someone else to come in, they either have to get me on live or come in next Sunday. I think I'm gonna do next Sunday. So next Sunday is me and my husband's 13th wedding anniversary, and I'm contemplating if I'm gonna do a class on next Sunday. And I know some will be like, take off, but I'm like, but I've already been doing this every Sunday thing, you know? I probably need to take off. No, I'll think about it. Lots of people seeking a job for jobs here. No, most definitely, I get it. That's why I really feel like this is right on time. What time is the 18th meetup? It's gonna be at 7 p.m. So it's gonna be 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. And remember, when you go to the time, it'll populate your time zone. So it'll say 7. It won't say 4. It'll say 7. For you, John, since you're on the East Coast. Yeah, it'll say that. Is everyone not everyone. Lisa, did you get in? Yep. You're in there. It worked. Whoop whoop. That's what's up. Whoop whoop. Lisa's in. Welcome to the community. Anyone that is not in yet. Anyone that is not in. Congratulations, everyone, on getting on the community. Remember, this only work if you do. This only work if you do. So the first thing everyone should be is hitting this medical courier mini course and then taking action. Remember, you honestly can start taking action tonight. But let's just say you're like, I need help with my resume, then go to this right here that says branding. This branding video has a resume, has a website, has a LinkedIn page, and capability statement. Excuse me. But if you already got your resume updated with medical courier or courier work, then upload it into Indeed and start applying. And then once you've done that tonight, then go ahead and go to the medical courier training to get a little bit more insight. But um, John says if I bring 5 people in, any rewards for me? Oh, I didn't tell y'all this benefit. I didn't tell you this benefit. So you get 20% if you refer people to the community. Boom. This is how you access it. I forgot to tell y'all that. I'm sorry. You can refer people and get paid as well. So if you go right here to your face, but it'll be mine, and you go to affiliates, it'll have all the affiliates that you can click. And like let's say you want to be affiliate for the Lab Academy, then you go ahead and copy it and you send that to individuals. Now, the thing is that when you do this inside the school community in the Lab 2.0, the price is going to be 297 for them once a year. It's 297 once a year. So you need to refer them to this community in order to get the affiliate. It's because school will populate it and send it to you. I don't need how to do anything. School does it for you. So if you go to your face, you go to affiliates, and then from here, you can toggle. Because I'm in more than one community, not just my own community, but I'm in other people's community as well. But you need to click it and then grab this link, and that link will be just for you, and then you will get paid. Even like school, like I'm on school, you have a school community, you have a link to where if you refer people just to join the school and not my school community, but school platform in itself. So now they can start teaching classes or whatnot, then you can refer them to the school community and get and receive 40% commission. I believe this is every month. That's with the school community. But for mine, it will be the Lab Academy right here. 2.0. Copy that, send it on over, and then it'll look just like my original community, but this reference is back here. It started telling me that they will get a discount under you. That's pretty dope, huh? John says I'm about to make all my money back. That's right. That's what's up. I can't believe I forgot that. I need to tell the whole community that. I can't believe I forgot that. Okay, any other questions? Anyone? I think everyone is in. Let me know. If anyone that's not in, let me know. John says you read my mind. Great minds think alike, because I did the same thing. You know how many communities I done joined learning, and when they told me that, I was like, so I can actually learn for free just by like sending it to other people. I was like, say less, say less. And then I got results. You get results. That's easy. Be like, come join this community. And then they can do the same thing. They can do the same thing. Any other questions? Everyone's in the community. If you're not, put your email in so I can make sure that you're getting in. But I think everyone is in the community. Congratulations, everyone. I really hope and pray everyone takes this serious. I think so. You spent money, so you're like, I'm in this. So be consistent. Be persistent, be committed, have a strong why, and then show up every day, even if it is for a few minutes. When I say a few minutes, like 30 minutes. But work on your business every day, 30 minutes to at least 1 hour, especially if we're doing medical courier. You're going to have to do that every single day so you can see the opportunities when they drop. Because you want to be able to be like, right there, apply, right there, apply. Because as soon they reach their limit, their quota, they're going to take that down. Thank you very much for all of you taught me tonight. Going forward to shine with it and in the sunshine state of Florida. Whoop whoop. That's what's up. That's what's up. You're so welcome, John. I look forward into seeing all of your progress. Everyone's progress. Everyone's progress. And for anyone that is no, I'm not gonna put it in here. I was gonna put the replay in here. No, it'll be on YouTube. This will be on YouTube. Akeisha said, thanks so much. I sent you an email. I think I saw that. Let me see. Akeisha says, I'm interested in your mentorship. Okay. Let me just make this disclaimer is that mentorship usually opens up right after the challenge or like at the end of the challenge. So for anyone that wants to do, it's almost like a one-on-one slash group mentorship. I have a couple of them. I'm not sure which one I'm going to release, but it's going to be most likely a done with you and done for you to where I help you bid. I find contracts, I help you bid. You have to initially bid under your email, under your account, but I'm going to give you the numbers. I'm going to build the proposals. I'm going to do everything, and then you just submit. And then I do have a guarantee to where if I don't get you the number that I'm telling you I'm going to get within 90 days, then I keep working with you until I get the contracts. And the only reason why I have that disclaimer like that is because some people paperwork might move a little slower, especially if they're not all the way sam.gov registered. And so that 90 days might get eaten up. The first 30 might be getting eaten up with paperwork. And so I may need a little bit more because technically that only give me 60 days to bid. And I already know that it is a numbers game. So with the done for you and done with you mentorship, I'm going to apply for anywhere from 20 to 30 bids a month. And I'm talking about government and private contracts, not stuff for your car. You do that. That's too easy. I'm not charging people and taking money and for stuff that you can literally do for yourself in a matter of minutes. This is more for the advance that you want to get private contracts and government contracts. And when I say private contracts with other businesses where you can be a vendor, where you can subcontract, not stuff that you need to drive. Government contracts, the same thing. You're the prime, you need to hire subs. So that I'll need just because I be having a lot of stuff on my plate, my own business, and I don't like to just open up the mentorship at any time. So it's usually right behind a challenge. So the next challenge is going to be January. So please take this time to get your business contract ready. So then when it comes time for me to do my thing, it'll be so much faster. You get faster results. Um, Let me just respond to you. All right, so okay, that's cool. I'll be consistent and reach out upon it. Executing goals. That's my interest contracts. Yes, yes, I got you, sis. That's where the money is getting these contracts with these businesses, with these private, yeah, or government, is because once you got a contract. And I didn't even say this, especially with government contracts, even with private, but more so with government. These contracts are anywhere from 1 year to 5 years. They have it to where you bid for 1 year and you have an option to go to the full 5 years. I mean, it's really not, it shouldn't be an option. You shouldn't want to do it. But these are contracts you can have for a whole 5 full years. 5 years. That's consistent money right there. And if you got your system set up, it can almost be passive, especially once you got your system set up. 5 year contracts, you can get one or two of those a quarter. You're in there. That's moolah. That's bank. That's money. So it's a lot. It's a lot of room out here for us to be able to make money. I always tell people it is not oversaturated. It is not oversaturated. Because remember, once you get your business contract ready, you can literally, I don't care if it's private, if it's government, you can literally go to different states and get contracts, but then hire individuals in the state that you won the contract in. You don't even have to live there. Remember, we do not have to live. I literally am starting, where I'm at, but the goal is to expand. The next state, and then dominate per state. And remember, we're talking about states, so there's counties and there's cities in each state. Before you move on to the next one, dominate the whole state. But yeah, have a good night, family. Dr. John, aka Dr. Jack. Okay, doctor. All right, that's what I'm talking about, John. Dr. John, excuse me. I will see you all in the next class, which is inside the community on the 18th. If we have any repeaters, I will be doing another one Sunday. Next Sunday. Next Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Have a good night. Thank you so much, X. Thank you, everyone, for rocking with me for so long. We've been in here, I told you, an hour and a half. I'm sorry I lied. This is 4 hours. You know, the funny part is, I don't even feel like it's 4 hours. It really just, I feel like when you're talking about something that you love, you like doing, it doesn't feel like, oh my goodness, it's 4 hours. But yes, thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Remember, if you have any questions, put it in the community tab. If they're like super duper personal, then you can email me. But I would rather everything go in a community tab just so when I answer it, everyone can learn. We all should be able to learn from each other. All right. See everyone soon. All right. Peace.